This live presentation of high school basketball on FingerLakes1.com is brought to you thanks to the support of Generations Bank, Little John Orthodox, Bill Cram Chevrolet, DiSanto Propane, Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant, Finger Lakes Partners Insurance, Brad Van Dusen Photography, It's a Wonderful Run 5K, Penny's Place Family Restaurant, Ferrara Lumber and Building Supplies, Red's Place in downtown Seneca Falls, Wilson Press and Mail House, Connie's Diner, STEVER'S Garage and Jimmer's Auto, and FingerLakes1.com digital marketing.
You are live, and I mean live. The game is underway, the first of two. It's the holiday season. It's rivalry time. I'm Dave Barnick, along with Jim Seneca and Kevin Korzeniewski, bringing you Waterloo Mynderse High School basketball. Good evening, gentlemen. And what are the Ferrara keys to the game? No score, by the way, just underway.
Ferrara Lumber keys to the game, Corsi?
I think the first and most important thing is defensive pressure. If Waterloo can get out and pressure Mynderse guards and create turnovers, it could be a very lopsided event. Mynderse is going to have to handle that pressure and take care of the ball.
Well, so far it's still 0-0, but in Mynderse, almost every one of Mynderse games, the games against Pelmac and Aquinas, they got down by 20 points early, and they came back. They outscored them the rest of the way, so don't get down early. Let's stay with them and then play the way they played in the final three quarters all night tonight. And then for Waterloo, I think they got a special team, so I think they just need to do what they do and control the boards, and they should be fine tonight.
Yeah, I think really Waterloo's probably going to try and control the boards, get the ball inside to Principio, and see if Giovanna can take control really against a not only lack of experience on this Mynderse Academy basketball team, but a lack of height as well.
Yeah, inexperience and a lack of size, exactly right. It's very apparent. All the kids look young these days, but the Mynderse team, their squad is very young, guys.
Well, this is basically a glorified JV game. Allie Smith for Waterloo, the only starter that's not a 9th or 10th grader. And on the other side, Sydney Sandroni, the only junior starter for the Mynderse. So there's two upperclassmen starting in today's game.
But, you know, you got a fifth-year senior, Jillian Panic, coming off the bench for Waterloo, so they do have plenty of leadership to draw from. I think that, you know, Mynderse best players are sophomores.
And nobody is, it's one of those situations, the longer Mynderse can kind of hang in there, the more confident they'll become. And last night at home, going for their 19th straight victory, the Milwaukee Bucks were 11-point favorites against Dallas without their best player, and they beat them. So one never knows. And by the way, speaking of inexperience, really sorry to have heard about your daughter. I know it's killing you as much as it is her, I'm sure, and we wish her well. And I was very saddened to hear of her injury, Kevin.
Yeah, Caitlin would have been one of the seniors on this team, but she went down in soccer season towards the end of the season. Great putback there by Meg Marley. Great rebound. She didn't get the putback, but she drew the foul. And, at 5'5", she crashes the board pretty hard. She's a very athletic girl. But back to Caitlin, it's just a heartbreaker all around. You come to a game like this, it's always been exciting. She's battled against these seniors, and then all of a sudden you can't play, and it's just a little bit more unfortunate when it's her senior year.
She might come and sit in the third quarter.
Third quarter,
right?
she's going to come over and sit in.
Step out, and you guys can.
We'll grill her.
Yeah.
No fighting, no arguing.
Well, we left that at home.
Okay. So Mynderse with a second chance here for the free throw line.
Yeah,
and
they got the lead.
They do take the lead with Marley's free throw. As a little bit of a late start, but we got lots of basketball coming your way. The boys, varsity, Mynderse, Waterloo teams follow this one. And there's another Waterloo throwaway. By the way, when you look at the matchups that the teams have had, their schedules up to now, that first game score that Waterloo just stands out, 89-8.
Eugenio Maria, charter school from Rochester, I believe.
And then they went on. I mean, really, they haven't had a particularly close game.
No, they've blown everybody. I think this could be a special team at Waterloo, not only this year, but going forward. Whatever they accomplish this year, they're going to be able to build on next year. So when I say special, I mean sectional championships and perhaps beyond.
And there's a long-range bomb. The three-pointer for DiSanto.
I think that was that Macy Card?
Yep.
Or that was
Macy
Macy Card.
That was Macy Card.
Was it?
Yep.
Okay. And I don't know about, well, you know the kids from the way they look also, but as I look, that's really difficult to read the Waterloo numbers on those jerseys.
It is. They're
they're
gray
small.
and orange and small. But, hey, happy holidays, guys. I mean, I love this. We just came off a great, as there's White, Principio White.
That's a great move inside for the big girl, baseline jumper. She was our player of the game a year ago in this same game.
But we just came off a great weekend. Wonderful weekend in Seneca Falls. And Korzie, of course, one of the organizers of It's a Wonderful Run 5K. Despite the rain, it turned into another spectacular event. This is such a great community. And tonight is just another example of that. We get these two teams together. We do a boys-girls doubleheader. And it's just a great community night in the middle of the holiday season. I love it. I'm so happy to be here tonight with you guys.
Yeah, Coach Spizzato, former Waterloo Boys basketball coach and league chairman, tries to set this game up every year right before Christmas. He loves to have it on a Friday night before the holidays so the kids can come home to college and really create and generate a great atmosphere locally with the rival.
The gym's already 90% full, and we've got a
good crowd, late arriving crowd. In fact, a number of people arrived late here tonight.
You talking about our broadcast
I was earlier
partner?
tonight than I was at the Newark game, I think.
Steal and doesn't get the roll. And Mynderse has it, facing that immediate pressure against the undefeated Waterloo team.
I think that's what makes Waterloo go is Jasmine Lewis in the back here. She's all over the place. Watch how quick she gets around the court. She's a lot quicker than everybody else, and she really anticipates the ball, generates a lot of turnovers and steals for this Waterloo team.
Second year varsity, and she, last year she was an 8th grader, so just a freshman now.
Good ball movement by the academy and drawing the foul.
That might be Principio's second. I like to see the scoreboard here, and I'm pretty sure she committed the first foul of the game.
There's Coach Prain getting ready.
She got all ball, but
getting some advice from Carter Tacconi up there.
That's her first foul, according to the
first
scoreboard.
Foul, okay. And Waterloo with some subs. Morgan Trout has checked in the game for Mynderse, and this is where Waterloo, Jim, when you talk about him being special, Mackenzie Barber off the bench, Jillian Panic off the bench, and Jillian hasn't checked in yet, but they just brought in Tabitha Winter off the bench. She's a strong player. A lot of these kids would start for
They're deep.
Yeah, most schools in the Finger Lakes, and they're young.
Carballo's in the game.
Caitlin Jolly, Janie Abbott, and Jillian Panic, the only 3 seniors on the team.
0 for 2 at the line. In fact, 1 for 4.
We haven't seen
You're an
Jillian
underdog. You got to make those foul shots to try to hang in there. A nice pass and a push from behind, and the three-point play is right there possible as the bucket is good.
Now, last year in 3 games against Mynderse, because they played each other, the girls did in sectionals, this Winter girl really, really bothered the Blue Devils. Just they couldn't contain her on the glass. They couldn't contain her inside. Really gave them fits.
And Mackenzie Barber.
I'm sorry, Barber.
Yeah,
not Winter,
she had 20
Barber.
points in 13 in the 2 games in the regular season.
Last year during the regular season, yeah. She just really gave them fits.
There's another steal and a missed layup. I was looking at some stats today, and I can't remember the young boy's name, but he's averaging through 3 games, as we see the replay here, 37-plus points a game in Section 5. And we have a timeout, and we can tell you that
time by Lewis.
Generations Bank is one of our sponsors. Check Generations Bank at mygenbank.com. Little John Orthodontics, they're available for your information on that longtime sponsor of ours at littlejohnortho.com. And a couple of our sponsors, along with Bill Cram Chevrolet, with a new and used inventory available at Bill Cram Chevrolet. You can check that out on billcramchevrolet.com.
This year, Dave, our sponsorship, we appreciate our loyal sponsors, but overall our sponsorship's a little down. And so we're appealing to just our viewers that want to contribute to what we do here at FingerLakes1.com to go to patreon.com/FL1, and you can make a donation. You can agree to donate a small amount monthly that will help us do more games, improve what we do. So we're asking for support if you like what you see.
Yeah, maybe you could ask Garrett Cole to help out a little bit.
You could probably fund our whole operation with his pocket change. But one of our referees tonight, John Bones Lorenzetti, I want to thank him for his donation. He subscribed via Patreon, and there's Haley Mosh.
Oh, nice move, but the defender was there. Here comes Waterloo, already leading 7-1. Three-pointer corner, bang, buries the try, and I think that was that Carr?
That was Carabello. Morgan Carabello, the freshman off the bench.
10-1.
Bounce pass.
Nice
Mynderse
pass.
doing some things right, but and a hard foul there will send that young lady to the line.
That's Morgan Trout. Yeah, Mynderse making the right passes, but they just can't finish. They just had Mosh down the lane, and she missed the layup. She rushed a little bit. And, again, a nice cross-court pass here. And Waterloo on the other end knocking down the shots, finding the open girl in the corner. Carabello knocking it down, which is their specialty.
I like that
three-point
picture.
shot.
Pardon me, Kevin. Like that picture we just had there, we could see two people prominently chewing their gum.
And Jillian Panix checked into the ball game for the first time tonight. And I also, in addition to John Lorenzetti, just wanted to also thank former Seneca Falls resident Bob Mitchell. He sent us a donation in the mail and says he enjoys watching all our live games.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Couldn't do it without the sponsors.
Nope.
By the way, speaking of official Bones Lorenzetti, he looks great. And I found out, as he was also doing the game at South Seneca, the tournament game, that he recently had a stint put in, and glad to see him robust and doing his thing on the basketball court.
Here's an opportunity for Mynderse.
Nice hustle.
Great hustle by Carabello. That's a freshman, She doesn't look intimidated.
No, these kids play all year round. This group that Coach Bree has, fortunate enough for them to play tons of AAU. So these guys, they've been brought up as seventh graders to play JV, and nope, they just fit right in out there.
5 seconds.
5-second violation, and I don't have jersey number 1 on my roster.
Oh, that would be Caraballo. We have her listed as 12,
Okay.
but she's number 1. Sorry about that. We get our rosters right off the Section 5 site.
Working the ball around the perimeter. Mynderse trapping when they can. And here's a long bomb from 3, won't go. Rebound inside, up, and yes! Not 10
Mackenzie
to
Barber,
2.
she's the Blue Devil killer.
Oh, another turnover.
A lot of turnovers both ways. Waterloo's the only one capitalizing on it.
Oh,
There's a
my.
chance for a three-point play.
That was Natalie DiSanto. Or was it? No,
Nope.
that was Tabitha Winter. Sorry. This is tough to see.
It is tough to
You're
see.
not kidding.
And Caitlin Jolly's getting her first action into the game. So there you have it right there. Coach Breeze already put in 10, 11 kids in the first quarter. He's got a 12-2 lead. They haven't missed a beat.
I think Mynderse has 1 or 2 subs. I think Sydney Haas checked in, and that might be it.
It's going to be a few of those years, too, where you sit in the stands and watch as a Waterloo fan saying, hey, this 5's better than that 5 or that 5. What best 5 do you have, or which one works the best?
Got the orange team and the black team,
That's a
right?
good problem to have.
They can, as a lot of the pro teams do.
Great passing.
Nice
against the press.
breaking and a hard foul.
That might be 2 on Barber.
That is 2 on Barber. Good hustle. Just a little body. But again, Mynderse making the appropriate passes. You can tell that they're organized, but they just need to finish.
And 15-2, just like that, guys.
There's Barber with a big board.
I got to point out that against Palmac, they were down 23-2 after the first period. Against Aquinas, they were down almost 20 points. And then the second time against Palmac, they were also down 20 points in the first quarter. And each one of those 3 games, these girls brought it back to 1 possession in the fourth quarter.
So don't count them out.
I think it might be a taller task tonight, but we projected Palmac to be one of the top teams in the Finger Lakes East, just like these Waterloo girls. So.
Yeah, I was going to bring up that 5K race that Jim had already mentioned because the weather was just brutal.
Until it snowed, then it was kind of nice.
It was nice. It was a good finish. Snow started right at the beginning of the race, and I think all the participants really enjoyed it. Really picked up that festive mood.
Boy, great ball movement. Impressive by Waterloo girls, even though they didn't connect.
Travel.
And they give it right back with that harassing, tenacious defense.
And we don't have an official turnover stat, but I'm pretty sure they probably doubled up the turnovers to points right here for Mynderse in this first quarter, which I know was a big concern of the coaching staff here at Mynderse. You know, Mynderse lost a lot from last year. You're talking about Madison Barnett, their best player, and Mary Dole, a senior, and Caitlin Korzeniewski, a starter all year, guard, and then Gretchen Perrine moved to Baldwinsville. And they really took a hit. And two of those kids, you know, they didn't plan on losing.
Another steal.
With Perrine and Korzeniewski.
Turnover, lay it up and missed. And actually, it's 15-4. And Waterloo has missed a number of high percentage shots. That one on a breakaway. Yeah, Madison Barnett had a great experience with her dad this past summer, and I'm very grateful for that. Here's the bomb, no good. Air ball, actually, and now a fight for the loose one. Dave Barnick, along with Kevin Korzeniewski, Jim Sinacropi, the fabulous Hunt brothers are doing their thing, engineering and on camera, along with cameraman Matt Meckley, as we quickly approach next Monday's big holiday. That would be Festivus.
We do got a full crew thanks to those donations from Bob Mitchell and John Lorenzetti. We've got 6 strong tonight here at Arthur L. Baker.
Drive, tough shot with a left hand, hustling for her own rebound and getting it. Shot clock, or the game clock running down, and that's it at the end of one. 15-4 Waterloo here at the Arthur L. Baker Gymnasium. Back with second quarter action after these words.
Generations Bank is celebrating 150 years of serving and supporting our hometowns. Visit mygenbank.com for the best choices in checking, savings, home equities, mortgages, and much more. Generations has been the Finger Lakes Bank since 1870. Generations Bank, member FDIC. All roads lead to Bill Cram Chevrolet, Waterloo Thruway Exit 41, Highway 5 and 20 in Seneca Falls. Browse their full Cramtastic new and used vehicle inventory online at BillCramChevrolet.com, supporting high school athletes for the past 50 years. Dr. Littlejohn, Dr. Barbie, and their outstanding orthodontic team share a common goal to ensure the overall wellness of each of their patients through their exceptional orthodontic care. Dr. Rod Littlejohn and Dr. Liz Barbie are proud to support our area high school athletes. Check out Dr. Rod and Dr. Liz online at littlejohnortho.com.
There's a lot of bet.
Well, we're about ready to start the second quarter. Good evening. Hope you're safe and sound and getting all those presents wrapped up wherever you might be. And if you're not at the game itself, we hope you can enjoy these. And here's a quick throwaway, and Waterloo gets it back. They're up 11, 15-4, as you see on your screen.
All Waterloo early. Really has been.
Gotta love what Coach Bree's done with the program from top to bottom.
Gotta let Mitchell see how their JV team is. You know, I haven't watched. I know your daughter plays JV gym, and I haven't watched our team play.
The bomb from the corner.
Second three for Macy Carr.
But when you have so many kids up, you wonder, how good the JV. Our JV's pretty good. We got a lot of kids up. Are undefeated, I believe, correct?
No, we lost to Pelmac.
The other night they lost. That's
yep,
first
in a good game. Fouls were 18-1. I don't know if you ever seen a game like that where the fouls were 18-1.
I think I've been a part of a couple of those.
But yeah, we got a really good JV team, and I love watching those girls play. And
so they play today, then, right?
They play tomorrow.
No, tomorrow.
Okay. Same setup and venue, 6 to 7:30.
Girls, boys.
Yep.
That's really nice.
But growing up, like I say, my daughter's on JVs in 8th grade, and for the past several years, we've played against Caraballo and Jasmine Lewis in the rec travel. And so for me, it's fun to see these girls have success for Waterloo.
I think that's a great thing about local high school basketball, though, is you see these kids grow up in the community, you know, whether it's at basketball games and rec, or maybe it's at a different sport, or maybe it's in church, or you just see the kids, and then you get to come out and watch them develop their skill and
there's
grow
that
as
JV
people.
team right there, I believe, right? That might be some of the good Waterloo students.
18-4 your score. Mynderse trying to some steps. Waterloo quickly getting back on defense.
Now, Sandroni, there you go. The only upperclassman on the floor, outstanding lacrosse player.
And Morgan Trout, the junior.
Oh, Morgan's a junior as well.
Sydney's
And Morgan, an outstanding soccer player. And so, like, for a lot of these girls, the upperclassmen girls, basketball is not their
primary.
Right,
favorite sport.
5 juniors, no seniors listed on the Mynderse roster.
The
along
truth
with
could be
some
said
sophomores.
for the upperclassmen on the boys' Mynderse team, too. You know, Griffin Herron's an all-league soccer player. Jared King's a great baseball player, I believe.
Yeah, and I think you could say the same thing about the Waterloo girls.
Well, that's
Caitlin
true.
Jolly's a lacrosse player. Jillian Panic's a volleyball player. That's her primary.
White Principio on that lay-in there, dominating inside 20-4. As I drove in here tonight, I couldn't help but think of some of those Sandy Mitchell, Beth Ann Bradshaw rivalry games. Danielle Bonifiglia, Deanna Connor, Kara Roger.
Well, I think those days are coming back, Dave, on the girls' side next few years. I think should be some good games.
Oh, here's a throwaway again. And driving to lane.
Oh,
nice
good play
hustle.
by Kenzie. She got thrown down after, but she's up.
They slid.
Yeah, they got a foul on her. Looked clean from this end, but
they probably
about
slipped.
84 feet
they probably
away,
slipped on Young Tree's watery shoes as he was walking around. And those are like canoes, so and I'm one to talk. But
Well, I wanted to ask you, Dave, you called games in this gymnasium when the floor was green, right?
yeah,
The Green Monster.
I certainly remember attending some then.
And that would have been early 1980s. Did you ever call games in the 70s, late 70s as well?
Late 70s.
Late 70s.
Yeah. And 0 for 2 or 1 out of 2 from the line.
that's a good rebound there by Haley Most, but just an ill-advised errant pass. And just hold the ball for a second, let things settle down.
You know, I think they brought Haley up because she has a little height, and she had been dominant in summer league, and going to be a great player.
There's the shot from long distance. Dial it up.
Allie Smith.
So Smith with a 3-pointer from way
travel.
downtown.
Got to take that right at the at Principio White.
It's amazing what the 3-point line continues to transition the game, and the shots keep coming from farther out.
Well, if you want to see some 3-pointers, wait till you see the Waterloo Boys next game. 8 out of every 10 shots they take is a 3-pointer.
Yeah, they love the 3-ball. This is one of those games as a coach it's really just tough to be involved in. You know, for Coach Anderson down there, he's trying to remain patient with his, young crew that he's trying to rebuild. It's going to take some lumps this year, and he's just got to try and stay positive and keep teaching. That's what he's doing here.
So
as a teacher.
The riddle for tonight that I'll ask you momentarily, as we have Matt Verke here, Kevin Korzeniewski here. Here's a steal by Mynderse.
Good numbers.
Jerry's coaching. Pat Prain will be coaching later. Where is the General Bill Grant from that stellar championship starting 5 unit?
It's probably a Lago.
I don't think so.
There's Brad Van Dusen.
That is not the General Bill Grant. You see him at all?
Yeah.
You do? Okay.
They're partners in in our fantasy football league.
Not as much as you'd like. He lives down in Honeyett Falls, Lima, but we could get together a couple times a year.
That's a nice little community there, Honeyett Falls. 24-4, folks. Early second quarter. Here's an effort, and
Kohlberger with a nice try there.
Kohlberger she's in some tall timber.
I like how Megan Marley plays. She's got a few
Just gonna
offensive
say the
glass,
same
and
thing.
she's just always around the ball, kind of like Jasmine Lewis on the other side. Just constantly motoring through the game, and gets her hands on a lot of possessions.
One thing, as Marley, the leading scorer, misses that free throw for Mynderse. Mynderse has yet to score a field goal.
All foul shots. 3 by this one, Megan, I think.
Yeah,
Right.
Megan's got 3 of the 4
but
points.
I think she's 3 for 7. We got to work on that foul shooting.
I got her, now 3 for 6.
3 for 6.
I could have missed some. As the big lady, White Principio, Giovanna, takes a seat on the bench, get a breather. They look pretty confident out there. They just wear it on their demeanor.
Oh. You know, I love how hard Bridget Miller works. She's really gotten a lot better over the summer, and I think she'll continue to be better. Great bloodlines, obviously, with got Connor Miller on the boys team, her oldest brother, who won a sectional title. Darren Miller won a sectional title for the boys, and Heidi Miller won a sectional title as great girls player.
Yep.
So now it's Bridget's turn, and
Nice
I've
pass.
just been really impressed with how much she's worked this summer to get better.
Weak side rebound
That's
layup
Jillian.
is good by Panic.
I don't know what happened there, but looks like an inbounding violation on
Wow.
Minders. Another turnover. Timeout Waterloo.
And we'd like to tell you that among our sponsor list includes DiSanto Propane. Since 1939, the difference has been DiSanto. You can check out their business at DiSantoPropane.com. Tom DiSanto would agree that the difference has been DiSanto. And
Darren and
Cicino's-
Heidi right there. Just had to break in, Dave. There's Darren Miller and next to his
Yeah.
sister, Heidi. And that would be
Jeremy Porter,
Jeremy Porter as
senior
well.
here at Minders.
Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant. Order online at Cicinos.com. And Finger Lakes Partners Insurance. That's FingerLakesInsurance.com.
There's another one of the great players off that 92 girls or 94 girls team.
Barb Robinson. That's Billy Grant's sister right
yeah,
there. in the
that's
yellow, Dave.
Willie Grant's sister, and that's Jody Doctor Jody Verke, but you remember her as Jody Doctor as those.
Yeah, and I've run into her dad
Kurt.
lately a couple times. Nice man.
Biggest Minders JV girls fan going.
Ever.
Oh, he's the best fan. He loves a good assist.
I've
He'll
seen him.
let
Yeah,
you know
loves a
it.
good
He'll let
assist.
you know
He's
it.
very vocal during the games, encouraging the kids. A good vocal, not like one of those negative vocals.
But early on, we talked about this being a great community event, and that's what we're talking about, you know. This gym is now pretty much filled to capacity.
Yeah, it's great. And Waterloo in full command of this one. Looking to make things happen, penetrating, but content to stay in the perimeter momentarily. Here's another bomb, or at same spot, not the same result.
Good hustle by Kohlberger there. Shoot it. So we tag.
John Nitty and Bones Lorenzetti are two officials.
How many games do you think Bones has called in his day?
I think he's called about 301 in this gym. It seems like
Alone,
every
yeah.
time I'm in here, he's calling a game in here.
Same
Him and Tom Marino, I wonder, he must be sick tonight.
when I go to a South Seneca game, seems Bones is there more often than not doing his thing.
Well, there's short drives from
Yeah.
him, right? Fayette resident?
That's the difference between the boys and the girls officiating. Is, you know, like Bones lives here in town, or, you know, you can't do that if you were in the boys officiating side.
Right.
So these guys can stay a little bit more local to where
You're
they
not
live.
allowed to ref for your hometown team.
No,
is that what
no,
you're saying?
They'll
Right.
turn it in.
Yeah.
You know, they just don't want to deal with it. It's
Yeah.
not really professional.
Sydney
Oh,
Hoff.
nice move.
That's the first field goal with 3:33 to go in the second quarter.
Host with the drive and off glass and good. And they get, a quarter and a half plus. Here's a bomb from Waterloo's.
Oh, that's a foul.
Yeah. It's going to be push on Morgan.
Tabitha Winter's shot.
Oh, I think they
didn't
got Caraballo.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, Morgan Caraballo. I
That's all
pushed
right.
Morgan Trout.
go. Yeah, they are a deep team, Waterloo. They don't seem.
No, they
Whoever seems to be on the court, a lot of interchangeable parts.
don't, at least tonight anyway. They don't miss a beat.
And they continue to pressure. Stop and pop. Can't get it to go.
Good rebound by Haas.
And here's a high arcing shot. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Higbee.
That was Marley.
Megan Marley.
Second field goal. Getting hot.
A little run to stop the
unanswered.
quarter here. To end the half if they can get a stop here.
Here's the baseline shot, won't go. Rebound tapped around. Here comes Mynderse the other way.
They're doing a good job on the glass, Mynderse. That's one thing that coach can work
Driving
on here.
through.
Take.
Nice.
Oh.
Good block from behind by Winter.
Mynderse still has it. This tenacious defense, and there's a Waterloo foul. But once Mynderse does break the press, they're kind of frenetic and can't slow themselves down. They get caught up in that more pace than they would like.
One or the other. I've seen them miss opportunities by holding off on making the pass, and then I've seen them, force the issue when it wasn't there. And that's a mark of a young team.
We see Finger Lakes Times photographer Spencer Tillis on the screen there moments ago.
So Sydney Haas about to shoot free throws. That's Hunter Haas, younger sister. Hunter was on that sectional championship team that beat Newark, I believe, as a sophomore that year he was. But I really love watching Sydney play. She's unassuming, but she gets it done. She hits the timely three. She gets the rebound against better girls, and she protects the ball for the most part. And, just another example of one of these younger girls that's going to continue to make Coach Anderson's program get better and better.
It would help if they were making a few foul shots.
That's true of any level of basketball. They're not as easy as you think, or as they should be for a lot of teams.
And the shot is good. I missed the
That was Winter, Tabitha Winter.
28-8.
The one thing that I've noticed about Waterloo in the high post versus the zone, whenever they catch it there, it's always a pass. They don't really seem to attack offensively versus the 2-3 zone from the high post.
Here comes the Tribe again, looking. There's the feed.
Bridget Miller.
Nice play defensively, and a tie-up is called. Possession arrow to Mynderse. 1:49 remaining second quarter. We'll be talking different sports. See the Hobart and William Smith jersey on that fan.
You know who Mackenzie Barber reminds me a little of is Carol Walker at Mid-Lakes.
Yep.
Sidney misses a three.
Long, athletic girl.
Just really strong,
Yep.
solid.
And here's a throwaway by Waterloo. They've got a
Waterloo
little
knocked off
sloppy
that
this
Mid-Lakes
quarter.
team the other night, kind of taking the throwing away from them. Mid-Lakes has been so dominant over the last 2 or 3 years in Finger Lakes East, and Waterloo knocked them off the other night. A big win for the program.
So who's considered the top contenders along with Waterloo and the Finger Lakes East? Is
Pelmac is the other team. I think Waterloo is going to take the title, but there you go. There's the stats right there. Wayne had a big win the other night. But Mid-Lakes is down, and Geneva's down as well. Penn Yan, I don't think is down so much. I mean, they're 0-1 there, but they'll be up in the upper half of that.
I think
well.
Penn Yan will surprise a little bit. Geneva's certainly down.
Geneva, Mynderse, and Newark will bring up the rear there, I think.
I think Mid-Lakes will continue to get better. Bridget Miller makes the free throw, but you rely so much on Elena Forbes. There's your son Will and
getting yelled at
wife
by,
Jolene.
I don't know. He's getting yelled at by both of them. Probably Tony Farrar, their athletic director, and his mother, Jolene.
Miller connects on both free throws.
Jolene deserves a lot of kudos too for this weekend's race. I really was impressed when I was in that gymnasium before they opened the doors to let it on Saturday. Jolene and Tina just had full control of what was going on. I mean, they're dealing with 40 volunteers, mostly high school kids in there, and they're getting them prepared for an onrush of 5,000 people. And
right.
It's just really, people don't understand what goes on behind the scenes of that event.
Yeah, it's a lot going on. Jolene and Tina do a great job of really organizing that room.
Bridget Miller unsuccessful, but I really liked her multiple efforts there. Good drive to the basket and then followed up her miss. It reminds me a lot of her sister. No surprise there.
So the shot clock is still on, about 3-second differential. Mynderse can get it down to 16 here.
And I don't want to forget that we got Julian Ruiz and Griffin Heron coming on at halftime.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Good.
I don't know if I texted you that today or not.
Oh, that's all right. We can make it work.
And there's a bucket.
Is that Lewis? Well, it's tough for us to see way down the other end of the court.
Those numbers are tough. We'll credit. And that'll do it. 30-10 your score at the half. And Brad Van Dusen Photography, one of our fine sponsors. Brad is here tonight. Anyway, dominant performance in this first half by the Waterloo Ladies, and we'll be back with halftime activity after this.
This live presentation of high school basketball on FingerLakes1.com is made possible thanks to the support from Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant, celebrating 23 years in the Finger Lakes with locations at 22 Main Street in Waterloo, 40 Exchange Street in Geneva, and Del Lago Resort and Casino. Dine-in, takeout, delivery, catering, and banquets. Order online at Cicinos.com. Live, laugh, and eat well. It's the Italian way. Finger Lakes Partners Insurance. For your life, home, auto, and future. Whether it's your first car, second home, or third child, the experienced professionals at Finger Lakes Partners can recommend the coverage that best utilizes and protects your assets. With offices in Geneva, Victor, and Waterloo, and online at fingerlakesinsurance.com. Since 1937, the difference has been DiSanto Propane. 4 generations strong, DiSanto Propane is a trustworthy, family-owned business with unmatched customer service. Go online at DiSantoPropane.com or call 1-800-752-4574 and look for DiSanto Propane on Facebook. Ferrara Lumber has been locally owned for 3 generations and is more than just a lumber and building supplier. Stop in on Baird Street in Seneca Falls to browse their full section of power tools, hardware, lawn and garden, painting, and plumbing supplies, and talk to their experienced staff before planning your next home improvement project. Brad Van Dusen Photography is a full-service photographer serving the Finger Lakes region, offering family, senior, and wedding portraits, also specializing in sports photos, collages, banners, and other keepsakes for your student-athlete. For more information, find Brad on Facebook or visit bradvandusenphotography.com. Penny's Place Family Restaurant, located on 5 and 20 in the Liberty Plaza between Seneca Falls and Waterloo, well known for their large portions and home-cooked meals, a large selection of breakfast items, and everything from burgers, salads, and wraps for lunch. If you want a great meal while pinching a penny, come to Penny's Place. Jimmer's Auto offers a full inventory of late model cars, trucks, and minivans. Check out their full inventory online at jimmersauto.com. And for service, visit STEVER'S Garage on Fall Street in Seneca Falls. Jimmer's Auto and STEVER'S Garage, strong supporters of local high school athletes for over 40 years. It's a Wonderful Run 5K. It's a winter run like no other through the streets of Seneca Falls, the town that inspired Frank Capra's holiday classic, It's a Wonderful Life. Learn more and register at itsawonderfulrun5k.com. Red's Place in downtown Seneca Falls, locally owned for 43 years and serving great lunches Monday through Friday from 11:30 to 2 p.m. Legendary soups, wraps, salads, and the best burgers in town. For over 65 years, the Wilson Press has been serving Central New York as commercial printers with a full-service mail house. Specializing in offset and digital printing, graphic design services, full mail house services, marketing and advertising plans, and fundraising programs, call them today at 315-568-9693 or visit them online at wpress.com. Connie's Diner on Main Street in Waterloo has the ambiance you will only find in a true diner. Let the Cardozola family serve your next breakfast, lunch, or dinner from their vast menu of time-tested favorites and original recipes. Visit them online at connieswaterloo.com. And FingerLakes1.com digital marketing, website development, hosting, multimedia production, and home of the most popular website and mobile app in the Finger Lakes. Help FingerLakes1.com bring you more great live local sports coverage by becoming a supporter at patreon.com/FL1.
It's Big Truckin' Deals here at Bill Cram Chevrolet. Check out this cram-tastic inventory for big truckin' deals. Whatever truck you're looking for, we've got the inventory. Trucks for towing, trucks for family, trucks for work, and trucks for fun. Whatever you're into, we've got a big truckin' deal waiting for you. All roads lead to Bill Cram Chevrolet, Waterloo Exit 41, Highway 5 and 20 in Seneca Falls. See all our truckin' deals at BillCramChevrolet.com.
Hello, and welcome back to the Arthur L. Baker Gymnasium in Seneca Falls, New York, where the first half has seen all Orange and Waterloo Indians over the Mynderse Academy Blue Devils. They'll score 30-10. I am fortunate enough tonight to be joined by the visiting Waterloo Indians boys. We have Julian Ruiz and the home Mynderse Academy Blue Devils, Griffin Heron. Welcome, guys. You guys can say hi. How you doing?
How you doing? How you doing?
Their faces come right up on screen, and all of a sudden they're like, I told them not to look at the screen, but they're looking at the screen all nervous. Julian, first thing I got to get squared away. How do we say your last name? We called the Newark game the other night, and Jim Sinacrupi was Ruiz, and I was saying Ruiz, and how do you like it to be called?
Honestly, I prefer Ruiz, but it's whatever because I've been called both my whole life.
Yeah, you know, the Ruiz might be the proper most – yeah, that's what Jim says. And but I've known you for a long time and a lot of your cousins and family, so I just know it goes Ruiz. But Jim never wants to listen to me. 95% of the time he's correct with that. So we have these guys on. We do this every year in this Waterloo Mynderse doubleheader, and we're just going to ask them a few questions. We're going to start with Griffin Heron. Griffin, we're going to give you an easy one. What's your favorite place to eat in the area? You know, it's got to be somewhere in the Finger Lakes, you know, Geneva, Waterloo, Seneca Falls. You got a favorite place you like to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, your mic just broke up for some reason. He likes Parker's or 84 Fall Street, right in downtown Seneca Falls. We're going to switch that question over. You got a favorite meal at either one of those places?
Parker's, I get the buffalo chicken tenders every time. I get made fun of a lot for it, but that's my favorite.
That's your go-to.
That's my go-to.
Julian, favorite place?
I'm going to have to go to Char Burrito in Geneva.
Char Burrito, that's one of my favorite places.
They got some good food.
What do you get there? You get like a full. I get the burrito bowl there. What do you get?
I get the quesadilla. I like the quesadilla, but the rice bowl is pretty good too.
Yeah. All right. So that's good, Char. Griff, back to you first. Hopefully this microphone is not working real well. I don't know if Jay Hunt, the producer's back there, can hear that. But Griff, what's a Waterloo Mynderse rivalry? Not just in basketball, but everything. What's it mean to you?
It's fun. I know, especially me as a competitor, I'm super competitive. And every year we deliver, it's sometimes physical, sometimes mental. It always comes down to it. It's always a lot of fun to play against great competitors.
Now, when you say we deliver, like both teams actually like show up to play. And, you know, it always.
Sometimes with games throughout the season, sometimes we don't show up to play. Some people don't want to be there, stuff like that. But when it comes to the Waterloo Mynderse game, everybody wants to be there. Everybody's going to play their hardest.
You agree with that, Julian?
Yeah, I could have said it better. I don't know. It's always fun coming out playing against Mynderse. The stands are always packed. It's a rivalry game. But
yeah, you can see it tonight. The girls' games really almost got the stands packed.
No, it's already packed.
And they're getting ready for the boys' game. You know, come to watch the girls, but that'll fill up a little more. But you can always see that there's always a little extra energy in the Waterloo. What's the favorite sport to play against, Julian? If you're playing in any Waterloo Mynderse rivalry, what's the sport you want to be involved in?
I mean, we've only played. Last time we played Mynderse in football was back in like A squad. So I mean, I'd have to say football just because we finally played them one time for our final home game.
Yep.
But we've played basketball my whole life. I've been playing basketball against them, and it's always fun.
We've been doing this segment for about 5-6 years. I've never asked that question. The only reason I asked it tonight is because it's the first time we played football, and I know you were a football player.
Oh yeah.
Griffin, how about you? What sport?
Basketball is always the most competitive, just because I think it's so tight and there's 5 people. The crowd's always packed, but. In soccer, it's not always super competitive, so that doesn't help at all.
Yeah, because you play baseball, and what do you play in the spring?
I play football and basketball, and then
that's it. Nothing in the spring. Okay, so baseball, it's not as intimate, and then in football, you kind of beat up on the team, but it was nice that they played. In soccer, you beat up on the other team. But in basketball, even if one team's supposed to be better and one team's higher in the league, it always kind of seems to bring a different type of atmosphere. And I would say, going back to when I played here, that I always thought basketball was the most fun to do as well. Julian, we're going to start with you this time. Give a shout out to somebody along your athletic career here that has really helped you along, that you'd like to, this will be on YouTube forever, you can say thanks to.
I'm going to have to give a shout out to my dad, man. He's always been pushing me, making me work hard from day one. He's been a great mentor to me. I'd have to say my dad for sure.
Yeah, that's good. Dad's a good dude.
Oh, yeah.
Chris?
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. Griffin? That's his dad's name.
No, I'd have to say my dad, too. No matter what the sport is, he's always pushing me to do my hardest. He's my biggest critic. He's my biggest supporter. He's helped me a ton throughout trying to find some place to play soccer in college, and I couldn't thank him enough.
That's awesome. I know he was probably going to say his mom, but when you said dad, he was like, he probably going to get beat up when he gets home, so he had to switch that.
Yeah, I'll hear about it later about my mom. But
Yeah, and you know, you can give them a shout out to your moms because they do a lot of that stuff too.
shout out moms. Jen Ruiz, Mike Ruiz.
All right, guys. Well, listen, I'm glad you guys got the opportunity to come on and join us for the halftime show. I'm not even going to ask the prediction of the game because I'll get Griffin in trouble, and it's a 20-point lead at half. So we wish you guys the best of luck in the next game, and best of luck for the rest of your senior years.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for coming on. And we are going to switch out here, and we got Dave Barnick coming back in, and he will be our play-by-play guy. And in the third quarter here, it is my special treat to be joined by my daughter, who is out with an ACL injury. Caitlin would be a senior on this girls basketball team. Caitlin, I know you've met him before, but Caitlin, Dave Barnick.
How do you do?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Happy holidays.
You too.
So we're back, 30-10. Waterloo inbounds the ball, and game action is back live, Dave.
It's been all Waterloo so far. Pretty lopsided event, and blowing a chippy there. So, Caitlin, how's the recovery going?
It's going good. Thank you. Yeah.
Had PT today.
Yes,
Yep.
I did.
I had it yesterday, and I'm having it tomorrow. Here's a steal, and a layup is up and good.
That's 15, Allie Smith, Dave. She just missed the chippy layup. She comes back on the press, gets the steal, an easy layup, and finishes that one. Caitlin, what's it mean to you to watch? How hard is it to sit out and watch? What are the things that you're thinking about watching this game with Mackenzie Higbee going up off the glass for Mynderse?
It's hard to see them. I mean, especially in this game, they're not doing well. It's hard to see that for me and not being able to help the team. That's difficult.
Yeah, it's got to be a struggle, especially tonight.
Yeah.
We know that as it just, you feel so bad for obviously you, the athlete, but I felt so bad for your dad and mom too. It's Heartbreak City, but
yeah, mom's the most upset, we think.
I agree with that.
This
yeah,
too shall
definitely.
pass.
Yeah, there's mom, she's upset, and then Caitlin, and then your dad are probably tied. Both of them upset. It's hard for me too as a father. She's played against Caitlin Jolly and Jillian and Allie here, and to not see you get to go out and play against these girls in your last year is tough.
You think about all those long trips that you go to in this inclement weather to see your son or daughter play, and you might complain about it some, but you wouldn't miss it for the world, and then it's tough, but better days ahead.
Yes, true. Very true.
Air ball and
Caitlin, what about your insights on the first half? What's Waterloo doing well?
I think their defense is very good, and we cannot handle the pressure, I think.
Well, hey, we talked about it in the first half, so I think that's a good answer.
I think Mynderse needs to relax and, I don't know, not force anything like they are.
Yep, take care of the ball a little bit better.
That pressure, as Macy Carr just connected moments ago, that pressure gets them speeding up, and there's a bomb from the corner.
That's Sydney Sandroni, probably the most accurate three-point shooter on this roster, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Her first bucket of the game.
Now Mynderse back in the 2-3 zone. Waterloo doing a really good job of finding the high post and then finding shots out of the high post.
Now there's a tough task.
Yep.
Principia White was blocked out by the much smaller Mynderse girl and just went over the top.
Yeah, it wasn't over the back. She made a good job of releasing the contact that she had, reached over. I think that box out's got to be a little bit harder and a little bit longer.
You can't coach size, though, can you?
No, you can't.
I mean, you have it or you don't. But
Caitlin, what are your college plans?
I'm not sure yet.
Well, I think you should go to an expensive private college.
We've had that conversation already, Dave. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at Gymnasium, St. John Fisher, Duquesne. There's a lot of them.
That's not that many. Senior year, 3 or 4, you got narrowed down.
Okay, well, I have like
I mean, all your fans
12.
are out there. We got to let them know what's going on.
No SUNY schools in the mix?
Yes.
Geneseo.
Oswego, Cortland. There's a lot more, but I didn't mention all of them.
He's having a hard time nailing it down, Dave.
Yes.
Well, Still got time. It's nice to have choices.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a good box out by Bridget Miller to keep Principio off the glass.
I like
that DeSandroni.
And the layup in and out. And the follow-up, again, good hustle and a lot of the right things being done, just unable to fully execute for Mynderse. Well, I always like to tell people that Geneseo was a better school, Kevin, when back in my day. And do you know why that's so?
I'm going to find out.
Because the girl-to-boy ratio was much higher then.
We talk about that when we go visit these schools. We look at those numbers, and it has gone down. It's still 60-40, I think, at Geneseo.
Yeah.
But it used to be like
correctly.
6-1 or something.
Yeah, now we went to Nazareth. That's what Nazareth was.
is
Nazareth was like 80%
difference.
female.
Now, what's the coolest thing about the Nazareth campus? In and out.
Gosh, I don't know.
I think I know I didn't see it. You did, Caitlin, but
Yes, you did.
the coolest thing, I saw the campus, but I didn't get to see what I think Dave is referencing.
There's
Go
a
ahead, Dave.
spot on the campus that's where you stand and it's an echo, but nobody else can hear it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not what I was thinking.
That's one of the tours that I took with my son.
There was some underground trails to classes, wasn't there?
yes,
Yeah, that's what I didn't see. I would have liked to.
Right here, we're halfway through quarter number 3, 36-15, and getting the third degree by her father is Caitlin Korzeniewski. And, that's an important and difficult choice. I'm sure you'll make the right one.
Yes.
Great
let's hope.
times.
She's looking at all good schools. I
Yeah.
think whatever she decides, it'll work.
But I found the facilities at the SUNY schools now are just amazing.
Yeah, much better than, even when I was in school.
At least in the case of my son, he went for a tour at Fisher, which he liked very much, except for the dorms are tiny. But the sports management program at Cortland blew it away.
Cortland's got good facilities.
Now, Caitlin, will you be able to play a spring sport, or is that up in the air still?
Probably not. Yeah. If it would be, it'd be the end, but it'd be cutting it close.
Yeah, and even though do as I say, not as I did, you want to take care of business first and get all well.
Yeah, that's very true.
Well, the hard part is lacrosse is her favorite sport, and Allie Smith with the rebound there. And last year they lost by 1 in the sectional finals, Dave, to Palmac, who we have, she has never beaten on the varsity level, so that was kind of a goal, which will make it a little more difficult once the lacrosse season comes around, dealing with a knee injury, and she'll be a lot more mobile than she is now.
3 minutes to go in the third quarter, a 21-point lead for Waterloo. They've been in control from the onset. So let me ask you this, Caitlin, how many old basketball stories do you hear about your dad and those terrific Mynderse teams he was on?
A lot from him. Yeah.
They were great.
They were. I did watch their state final game, and it was really fun to watch.
And the cool thing about that is everybody that really is,
I know everyone on the team.
We're all still so close, so anybody that checked in, she knew who they were.
And hopefully it was my play-by-play she heard when she was watching.
No, actually it was a Long Island TV coverage that we watched about a month or 2 ago. But, you got Coach Verke and Coach Anderson, or coaches are on it. And Billy Grant, so.
Coach Prain.
Coach Prain.
And, of course,
Did he play in that game?
I think so.
Coach Prain? Okay.
It bears.
I'm teasing him.
It bears.
I got you. I'm like most gullible
it bears repeating, of course, that unfortunate accident, losing your teammate Mark Scalzo some years ago, who was an excellent player besides that, of course.
But, Caitlin, who talks more about it, Coach Verke or me?
You.
Really?
Really,
We'd have to get Maddie Verke on here.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that if your teammates voted, that you would probably get that selection too.
That I talked the most, but not about 1992.
There's a near
Verke
steal.
would definitely take that title home.
I'll tell you, I'll never forget that semifinal game and that crazy, intense, out-of-control coach they had from Waterloo.
Waterloo. Jim had mentioned earlier on the show, you ever been a part of an 18-1 game with fouls? I felt like that's what that game was like, our state semifinal.
That was and the brutal. The officiating is supposed to get better as the teams get advanced, and they were terrible, as I remember. But it was a great victory on a great season. Here's a shot from the corner, won't go. Good rebound. Mackenzie Barber. And
what do you think, Caitlin, on Waterloo? Who's been the most impressive Indian tonight? Have you followed it that closely? Is anybody that you said, wow, she's playing really well or tough?
Is it number 4, Jasmine?
Jasmine Cure.
I think she's very
Jasmine
effective
Lewis.
on the defensive end.
Yeah, now she's looking at you because she hears you talking about her. Yeah.
We'll have to give her the DiSanto PROPANE heat check. Yeah. Since 1937, the difference has been DiSanto PROPANE. As we had a couple of special guests at halftime during the Bill Cram Chevrolet halftime report. We'll be selecting a Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant Player of the Game at
And back to that DiSanto PROPANE, Dave, or DiSanto, that is in reference right here to Natalie DiSanto, the freshman. That's her father's business. Big supporters of Finger Lakes 1. It's great to have them on board.
Speaking of state championship teams, I see Tim Darnell coaching the Waterloo Boys.
Yep, Coach Tim Darnell.
Was a stellar basketball player and starter, I believe, if memory serves me correct, on the Clyde Savannah Golden Eagle Championship.
Yep, played for Kevin Sharp, who is Finger Lakes 1 commentator as well. Small world, and Coach Darnell won its state championship. And we played against each other at Brockport and Cortland. There's Darren Miller and Mike Alessio. Darren's probably learning a lot from Mike right now, won't you say, Caitlin?
Definitely.
Nice move. And
travel.
Well, it could have been a travel. They ended up getting bailed out with a foul called, which Jasmine will go to the line.
Well, I think Coach Anderson would take this ugly style of – I mean, it's really been an ugly game. It hasn't been pretty. It hasn't been a great basketball game to watch. And I think that's what Coach Anderson would have wanted, as an ugly affair, but just not putting the foul shots and the baskets in as much as he would like. And to hold this Waterloo team to 36 after three, that's pretty good. I mean, they're scoring a lot of points this year.
I'm not so sure that Coach Bria is satisfied with – they basically had this lead after a quarter and a half, and it's been not a lot going on since then.
Yeah, Mynderse comes down, hits a couple threes, and, it's 22, but next thing you know, it's 14. And they could make it interesting if they could knock down some shots. We got a Mynderse Academy timeout.
And with that timeout, we'd like to tell you that it's a wonderful run 5K, a wonderful run.com. How many runners did we have?
Caitlin, she is on the subcommittee of Wonderful Run. You remember how many runners we finished with?
I want to say 4,500.
It's a little over, 4,000, right on the nose. Yeah, right around 4,000.
That's just incredible.
Close. You're close.
Amazing. Now, did you not hit the all-time high this year maybe because of the weather?
Absolutely. Last year we were 90 off of what we had last year register. And obviously last year the number was, I think, 5,489 or 589. This year was like 4,490. And we didn't have as many race day registrations, but that was due to the rain. And more people didn't show up this year for the rain than we did the snowstorm in 2013, which I found out.
I remember that too, but it was a miserable day for much of it. But you all deserve tremendous credit. We'd also like to thank Ferrara Lumber and Building Supplies. Browse their selection at ferraralumber.com. And Red's Place in downtown Seneca Falls with the best lunch in town. One of the stops for Finger Lakes 1. Yeah, on that, Mynderse breaks the pressure. They're doing a lot of things right under the tutelage of Coach Anderson.
I agree. They're always finding the right kids in that pressure, but then they come down and do something like that. Make a pass that's just too high. It's, it's just inaccuracy.
And working the perimeter. Panic at the foul line at the high post. Fifth-year player for Waterloo.
You know what's about this Waterloo team that might win the Finger Lakes East last year compared to Mid Lakes? There's
Lewis.
Jasmine Lewis for the 3. Caitlin called her out a little bit ago. Last year Mid Lakes we had Elena Forbes, who was an all-star basketball player, just solid. Waterloo don't have a kid close to that, like as far as a standout yet. These kids are young, but they just bring so much balance and quickness to the court.
In depth.
Yep.
Yes, I agree. I wonder how Elena's doing. Went to Niagara Community College, I think.
Yeah.
Caitlin, any predictions on the boys' game tonight?
I don't know.
You're trying to put
Honestly.
the pressure on her as the Waterloo
Boys
walk.
went by.
They walk by.
Going, but what do you think, Caitlin? What do you think the final score is? Give us a prediction.
Oh, my
Reach
final
it.
score. Maybe 50 to
52 or score 50?
no 50.
Okay, 50 for
Like dash
all
2.
right, all right.
Okay. To 43 Waterloo.
Holy cow! Did you hear that, Dave?
I'm sorry.
Oh my God!
Don't be
Is that
I didn't
sorry.
want to.
if I was still coaching, you would be sleeping on the streets tonight.
Now that's I appreciate that. You got to
I don't know.
She gets her brutal honesty from her
I've been
father.
to
I
one
guess she
boys
calls it
game,
as
and
she
I really
sees
don't
it.
know how Waterloo is. But I think we lost last year, didn't
Lost
we?
twice to him last
See,
year. Yeah.
that's what. Yeah.
Well, Griffin's not gonna be happy with you, but
I know. Whatever.
all right, not believing
1 out
in
of 2
in her own
for
school.
winter.
They don't have to know. Just don't tell them.
Honey, it's on YouTube forever.
I know that's true.
Oh, you picked
They're gonna
Waterloo
find
to
one.
win?
Yeah.
I did.
41-15. All Waterloo. 1 quarter to go. Again, we have the boys basketball coming up right after this one. Let's return to our studios for these words.
Generations Bank is celebrating 150 years of serving and supporting our hometowns. Visit mygenbank.com for the best choices in checking, savings, home equities, mortgages, and much more. Generations has been the Finger Lakes Bank since 1870. Generations Bank, member FDIC.
DiSanto Propane is 4 generations strong as a trustworthy family-owned business with unmatched customer service. Go online at DiSantoPropane.com for more info. DISANTO Propane.com or call toll-free at 1-800-752-4574 today. DiSanto. Since 1937, the difference has been DiSanto Propane.
Well, we got 1 quarter of basketball remaining. It's been all Waterloo from the onset. A 26-point lead after 3 quarters of play. And we hope everybody is enjoying the holiday season.
How did it go with Caitlin?
She did all right. I asked her 2 things that stood out to me. I said, how's the game going and her thoughts? And she talked about the defensive pressure from Waterloo and us not being able to handle the ball. And then I asked her who's going to win the game, and the boys' game, and she took Waterloo over Mynderse.
Whoa. Yeah, I was surprised. And
Well, she knows what the spread is.
yeah.
she's
I said she's maybe got a little bit too of my honesty. You're the DraftKings pen.
Honestly, Korzy,
I just went, oh.
Caitlin is just a wonderful girl, a great role model for my daughters in 8th grade, and I love her. You and Jolene just did a great job, not only with her, but all your kids.
I appreciate it.
She must take after mom, right, as they say?
No doubt about it.
Uh-oh.
We did have a good argument on who talked more about 90-92 basketball.
Breakaway,
Matt
the
Murphy or
layup
Kevin
is
Korzeniewski.
good. We do have to start considering as Macy Carr. I think that puts her into
10
double
points.
figures with 10.
And I'm glad you said that because I credit her in the fact that, you realize I'm such an athlete person, jock, what you want to call it. And, I'm a PE teacher and I coach and I love sports, and it's been my world, sports has, since I was a little kid, and I love it. And, she's a 3-sport athlete. But, when she got hurt, she's like, it could be worse, Dad, and, we'll make the best of it. And she truly has. It's not just, that wasn't just, speak. It was, she's really lived like that. So, we've raised a well-rounded kid that isn't reliant just all on sports, which has made me proud.
Yep, I agree with you. Now, ACL injuries in girls sports. They just seem to be more prevalent in the past, decade than maybe they had. Is there a reason?
Yeah,
for
even
that?
more so. Yeah, well, you read about research. I'm certainly not a professional on it, but I read a lot about it because I'm curious. And even I used to coach Principio, having a good game offensively for Waterloo.
Real nice jump hook there.
But I used to coach girls varsity soccer in Waterloo back in 2000, 2001, 2002, and we used to have our trainer Scott Grove, do some training, plyometric training to prevent that type of injury. But especially females and especially in soccer, the surgeon said soccer the worst for kids' knees when it comes to girls' sports. So
we got a timeout on the court. We'd like to mention Wilson Press and Mail House as one of our fine sponsors on Finger Lakes 1 Sports. And Wilson Press is available online at wpress.com. And Connie's Diner in Waterloo, an iconic restaurant in downtown Waterloo with a full menu at connieswaterloo.com. And STEVER'S Garage and Jimmer's Auto, where used car inventory is also available online at jimmersauto.com.
There's Ella Worth, Kelly Kohlberger, Dale Kohlberger's younger sister, a couple of members of that Mynderse JV girls team, and there's my cousin Jamie Oberdorf, formerly Jamie Sinagropi, who's coached modified in soccer and basketball.
Yeah, she's coaching basketball again this year. Needs her CPR recertification, she told me the other day.
Waterloo's still pressing, and Mynderse broke the press and then ended up throwing the ball out of bounds anyway. Jerry have to hang in there with the young kids and see him improve. And Principio White White Principio just easy bucket inside, 8 on the night for her.
In addition to her post moves, which we've seen a couple here in this quarter alone, I've been impressed with her passing throughout the game.
Yep.
Nice.
She's made some nice passes from that high post area. And if she feels any type of pressure, she's quick to kick that out for an open jump shot.
I think that was Higbee.
That was Mackenzie Higbee on the bucket on the other
off
end.
the glass. Nice move.
Higbee's got a lot of promise for this young Mynderse team.
Oh, and White Principio with
That's
a
a perfect block.
rejection.
Rejected motion right into her face, off her face into the wall. Waterloo ball. Sometimes that block just goes flying out of bounds.
You forget that the 6'1" White Principio is just a sophomore herself.
Yeah. Like I said, this team is built to last.
Allie Smith, the only older classman out on the floor.
One thing, if I had one criticism of the Waterloo girls, it would be their uniforms. Because those gray
the gray and the orange
numbers
doesn't really stand out too well.
I'm not a fan either, Dave. I
Not
did
enough
notice
black to me, to be honest with you. I'd like a little more black in there, but what with the grays?
Nice drive, stop and pop, too hard, and Waterloo comes the other way, and they have numbers. 3-on-1, give it back. Nope, but lays it up and in off glass anyway. And that was Carr. She might be working her way into a pizza. Long, high-arcing shot won't go, and a 32-point deficit.
Principio White with the rebound, got it right out, and here comes Waterloo again. And good job by Bridget Miller.
Yeah, good steal. Back. Nice family. I don't know them as well as, obviously, the Seneca Falls natives are. You guys have a Christmas list I want to ask you about.
Of shopping still to do?
What do you most want for Christmas? And I'll tell you what, one of my top items is, but I'll let you guys think about it, is we have a tie-up.
The only thing I asked for is a putting mat. There's this putting mat I saw on Facebook that returns the ball right to you. I want to work on my putting this winter.
Whether you make the putt or not? I mean, if you go a little too far, does it kick it back? Or you got to put it in the hole?
I didn't do that much research. I just saw it, and I forwarded it to my wife. I said, this is what I want for Christmas.
Anyway, I can get some cold, hard cash for Christmas. That would be nice.
It's going to be a great Christmas. But one of the items that I'd most like for Christmas is the same item that I would think you two would want even more for yourselves than me. Okay, we'll let that drama build for just another moment or so. I'm going to use the word damn in a minute, too, by the way. Yes, to fix that damn detour in Seneca Falls, that would be on my Christmas list.
I agree.
Got some inside info, and this might be the most breaking news of the night.
Good.
It might only be a week or so before that opens back up.
No kidding.
Yeah, they might open it without repairing it. But, again, that's unofficial. Watch the front page of FingerLakes1.com.
I do every day, Jim. I do watch that front page.
High-arcing shot, a good look.
You know what I love on that front page is Drew Montrell. How do I say that? Did I say it right? Drew Montrell? The weather guy?
Drew Montrell.
There's a steal. Jasmine Lewis with a
weather
win. And a timeout.
Yeah,
or we
Dave,
have a travel violation.
I would like to see that Baird Street open again. It's
well, if
I
that
think
does,
that's a great call, Dave. I would like that as a nice Christmas gift as well.
It's going to be it's a wonderful life. It's going to be a great Christmas. I am so psyched about so many things in my life right now.
Well, Grandpa Dave, right? You get to do some grandfatherly shopping, which has got to be the most fun,
I've spent so much money, and I don't care.
Dave, I got a great trivia question for you.
All right.
What 2 Waterloo Boys varsity basketball coaches has resided over the Waterloo Indians, yet chose to live in Seneca Falls, New York? Think about that
you would
one
be
for a
one.
second. Yes, that's true. I was one. And there was a point where we thought about moving to Waterloo back in the late 90s.
Varsity basketball coaches on the boys' side?
The boys' side, yep.
You know, it wasn't
only
Pittifer. He's a Geneva
Mark
resident.
Pittifer was a Geneva resident. That's correct. No, it wasn't Joe Spazzato. He actually lives at the school still.
Still in the
he did
janitorial closet.
Did in the 60s and the 70s.
He has a cot there,
yeah,
right?
he does. He's got a spot.
I saw Joe actually at the Hobart basketball game about a week ago, which is a kind of a fun thing to do. I went for the first time last year at the line, by the way. Bridget Miller makes the free throw.
There's so much great local sports around here, whether you're talking about Hobart, whether you can go, if you can go catch a hockey game down in Cornell.
Oh, even a hockey game at Hobart we enjoy.
Hockey, the cooler.
The Williams Smith team lost girls soccer lost in the finals this year, Division III.
That was another first for me last year. My friend Kenny Howall, who owns and operates the Glenwood Pines, he's a Cornell grad, took me to the Cornell-Harvard hockey game, and it was a lot of fun.
Yep.
Throwing those fish on the ice. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Yep.
I went to a game when I was in high school once. It was great. I think it was Cornell Clarkson, I think it was.
So who's this?
Off the glass and in. And that's
Tabitha Winter.
Thank you.
Who's the second coach, Corsi?
Second coach would be the current head coach, Tim Darnell, who recently bought a house in Seneca Falls this past summer, late summer, early fall.
And the school board still gave him the job.
They did, that's right.
A lot of these girls, like Jillian Panic, on a real successful softball team this past spring.
Yeah.
Nice move inside, doesn't get the
I
roll.
I think their volleyball team might have lost in the sectional finals. Thinking, seeing some stuff with Jillian. She's going to look to try to play volleyball at the next level.
Yeah.
Jillian's always been a great athlete, good at all 3 sports.
One thing I really noticed on that last play, now Mynderse is down by 35 points, but the effort to not only play the effort itself, but also the execution that both teams continue to give out there is pretty, impressive. I think both teams deserve credit for that.
I've watched every single Mynderse girls game this year, and I probably won't miss many. It's my daughter's on the JVs.
That's up.
Here we come.
Nice save by Winter.
And they never give up.
That's a testimony to the girls, of course, and also their coach, Jerry Anderson.
And the thing about this Mynderse girls team, and it's happened in years past, is they're in Class B2. Waterloo's in Class B1. So when it comes time to sectionals, as much as they're getting lumped up, the Finger Lakes East, Mynderse is the smallest school, the only, along with Penn Yan, the only B2 school. They have a chance to win a sectional title come
because of the
February.
league that they play in.
Right. They're going to take their lumps, but
by the way,
it really preps them for sectional play. I agree, Jim. Both boys and girls.
I've went almost all but a minute of this entire game, without yet saying, how about them Buffalo Bills?
I love it.
It's very exciting. Not a Bills fan, but I'm certainly rooting for them.
Yeah, they're an easy team to root for.
Need a little more offense to go with that defense.
They need the offense not to hurt them. I think Frank Gore is spent. I couldn't. Marley with a long three.
Meg for 8 now. We got about 38 seconds left to go in this one. I'm excited for the boys game. We got a packed house. I haven't been able to watch the Mynderse boys team in person yet this year. I'm looking forward to see how those two sophomores are developing, Cabot and Bogart, and it should be fun. And the Waterloo boys are always entertaining.
Here's the runner blocked, just down to. The ball goes out of bounds back to Mynderse with 16 seconds left. Dave Barnick along with Kevin Korzeniewski, Jim Senecrobi, the fabulous Hunt brothers. Jeremy on camera, Jason producing, and Matt Meckley also on board.
It's their number one squad here across the board. Jason is a better producer than I am. Best in the biz.
And that'll do it. Your final score, 54-22. Waterloo all over their arch rivals.
Who's their player of the game? Quick.
We're gonna. Why not go with Macy Carr?
I agree. She was at the start and the finish. So there you go.
We'll take a break, and we'll be back for the Little John Orthodontic Smiles with Style post-game show.
Help FingerLakes1.com bring you more great live local sports coverage by becoming a supporter at patreon.com/FL1. Generations Bank is celebrating 150 years of serving and supporting our hometowns. Visit mygenbank.com for the best choices in checking, savings, home equities, mortgages, and much more. Generations has been the Finger Lakes Bank since 1870. Generations Bank, member FDIC.
DiSanto. Since 1937, the difference has been DiSanto Propane.
All roads lead to Bill Cram Chevrolet, Waterloo Exit 41, Highway 5 and 20 in Seneca Falls. See all our trucking deals at BillCramChevrolet.com.
Dr. Littlejohn, Dr. Barbie, and their outstanding orthodontic team share a common goal to ensure the overall wellness of each of their patients through their exceptional orthodontic care. Dr. Rod Littlejohn and Dr. Liz Barbie are proud to support our area high school athletes. Check out Dr. Rod and Dr. Liz online at littlejohnortho.com.
54-21, your final score from the Arthur L. Baker Gymnasium at Mynderse Academy in Seneca Falls. We're happy to have with us our Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant Player of the Game on a dominant performance by the Waterloo Lady Indians, Macy Carr. Congratulations, Macy.
Thank you.
What can you tell us about the effort tonight by your team?
Well, we definitely work hard for like every game that we play in. We kind of went in here like we were like really confident, but like we always take like every single game seriously, like no matter who we playing. Like we prepared a lot and we put in hard work for every single team that we play in. So
what's the one team you get most excited for on your schedule?
I would say Paul Mac. I mean, we were kind of like a little bit nervous for Mid Lakes just because we've had like a lot of like tough games with them in the past, but I think Paul Mac's going to be our biggest competitor this year.
Do you guys have any team goals this year as far as your success? And you talk about anything like that?
We take it one game at a way. Coach Bree always says that you get this game out of the way, we move on to the next. So we kind of just focus on each game at a time. But obviously there's a goal to go as far as we possibly can.
Good.
And, boy, you guys, I mean, it's still relatively early in the season, but your scores have just been dominant so far.
Yeah, we've had like a different leading score almost every game.
How do you beat a team by 80 points, though? Tell me about that one. That 89-8 score was, it had to be a little.
We honestly had no idea what that team, like who they like were, like what they were capable of. So like going into that game, we didn't even know the name of the school. Like we knew like the letters like that were on their jerseys, but we did not know the name of the school. So we had no idea what we were going to be up against. But it just turned out to be a game where like they were like really new, but they still played pretty hard, and we just used it as a game to like.
How much of a thrill is it for this, or how much do you enjoy the setup where you have the doubleheader fans for both the boys and girls, and I imagine the support that you give each other?
Oh, I love it. Like the last couple of years we've had like this setup where like our girls game is at like one game on the same exact day as the guys game, so we don't usually get to watch each other's games that much. So having like the doubleheader here, having their support and then our support right after, it's just like, I don't know, it's just like a good atmosphere.
Your boys aren't too bad either. Pardon me, Kevin.
No, you just get a better crowd because they're not split up. So maybe your parents can come watch the boys, and maybe some of the boys' parents come and watch the girls. So it really does create a better atmosphere. I'd kind of like to see every game like that. You know, where you put the JVs on one night and the varsity on the other night. I think it's better for the community, and you get a better turnout each and every night.
Yeah, everyone's really supportive of each other, too, when we do it like that.
Well, we should ask you, since Kevin asked his special guest during the third quarter, what's your prediction on this game coming up between the boys?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I heard about Mynderse. I know that like they used to be like extremely good, but I feel like we've got a lot better, and we've had like a lot of close games, and like with Newark, like we almost beat Newark a while ago, so I feel like we could definitely win this one.
You got a final prediction for us? Winner
I feel like
and
Waterloo.
score? You got a score?
Leading score?
No, like what's the score at the end?
Oh.
What's the final score?
Maybe like 75 to 62.
75, 60.
Like
we'll have to rate
high
these down.
scoring game. That'd be fun.
Would be.
That'd be fun.
It has the potential to be a high scoring game.
Yeah.
Macy, you play other sports as well as basketball?
Yeah, I play soccer.
Good. And you're just a sophomore, so future looks bright. I would guess that some of the greatest competition you're facing, at least so far, is in your practices, because your team seems pretty deep.
Oh, yeah. Our practices are, like, crazy hard. Like, the competition that we have in our practices, like, we go at each other. So, like, we're really, like, competitive with each other in practice. But, like, we're so, like, supportive of each other, too. So, like, we pick each other up and stuff. But, like, the competition is definitely there within our team.
You know what I liked about your team, and I always, like, asked my kids this when they were a little bit younger to see if they were paying attention. You know, who was the best defensive player on the team, or who was the best just overall player on the team. And after sitting through that first game, I can't answer who maybe your best player is.
Yeah, that's what I think. I've heard that from like 40 different people. Like they all talk about like how we have our bench is so deep. We have so many good players from like guards to forwards, and we're all pretty much in the same scoring area too. So like it's just like a huge.
And an important piece of that, when you have 10, 11 kids that are all play and they're all pretty good, is chemistry.
Oh,
well, what can you say about your team's chemistry?
I feel like we've definitely had a family. In the past, like, it's always kind of been a competition, like, between, like, the girls who, like, have been on varsity and the younger girls, because we have, like, a really young program. Like, we have, like, a lot of freshmen and sophomores, and, like, but we've gotten, like, extremely close. And, like I said, like, we're all so supportive of each other. Like, we all really just support, and, like, we kind of, like, love each other. Like, it's like a family.
Cool. Well, your next game is at Penn Yan on the 20th. We wish you well then, the rest of the season, and hopefully a long run in the postseason. We thank you and congratulations. We're speaking with Macy Carr, and Jim Sinacropi will see to it that you get a certificate for a large pizza, courtesy of Cicino's in Waterloo.
You like that, Cicino's?
I love Cicino's.
You got any family watching from far away you want to give a shout out to that maybe
or
doesn't get a chance to watch you?
Yeah, maybe my grandma. Love her. She doesn't really know basketball that well, but she's probably super excited to hear her name on this thing right now.
Well, what is her name?
Sherry.
Sherry.
Sherry Louts
Okay. And she lives.
in Indiana.
Oh, great.
Oh. Well, that's basketball country, so
Yeah.
Larry Bird country.
You know Larry Bird?
Yeah, that's my mom's favorite player.
That's smart. I'm a fan of your mom right away. The
We
country
love
hick
Celtics.
from French Lick, Indiana.
Yep.
That's right. Well, it's been a pleasure watching you play, and thanks for joining us on
Thank
Finger
you.
Lakes 1, and good luck, as we said.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mace.
Welcome.
And Macy Carr, I had 6, 8, 12 points in the game. Balanced. I thought that was maybe the best or one of the more appropriate descriptions you've said all night, that word balance to describe this Waterloo team.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, from 1 through 10, it didn't matter who he brought in. They're athletic, they're strong, they're disciplined, and they're confident. And I asked a question to her about chemistry, and she, if you watch the game, you really didn't even need to she didn't need to answer it because they do have good chemistry. You can tell there's a lot of unselfishness on part of that basketball team.
Well, we're going to have, are we keeping it here, Jim, for
Yeah,
this?
let's keep it
Billy
here.
Grant just chimed in to say hello.
Oh, Dave, Dave's got to love that. There's
Yeah,
nobody
he
he loves
just said
more
he was,
than
I'm tuned in watching.
The general.
Sweetness is your weakness. And Tim Lincoln, I just looked at my phone, also underdressed how
Nice
hard
man.
it was to play on that green monster. So he must have been listening from the tip off.
Tough on the legs, yeah.
Yeah, that's
and
what
they
he
had
said,
they also at the chiropractic college had the rubberized court, as I recall.
Yes, they did. Yep, I never liked.
Well, that was
playing there.
Eisenhower.
Yeah,
Eisenhower.
back there.
Some great games, some great postseason games on there at that location. We're awaiting the start of the Mynderse Waterloo Boys game. I guess we could ask both of you right now, what are the Farrar Lumber keys to the game on the boys' version of things coming up in a few minutes?
Well, I can chime in, you know, being so close to the rivalry and knowing the kids on both ends so much. I've seen Waterloo play now this year, and I coach some of those kids, and obviously with my ties to this Mynderse basketball team. I think the key for Mynderse is just to have some confidence and come out and play like they belong and that they can play with these guys. You know, Waterloo returns a lot from last year. You know, they lost an all-star in Derek Saluka, but they bring back a lot of key components, and they're athletic, and you know, a lot of good basketball players across there. But Mynderse can play with them if they can guard, if they're man-to-man defense as well, and they can continue to box out and play with some spirit. This will be a great game. As far as Waterloo goes, they want to push the tempo, get the ball up the court, and really try to stifle Mynderse in the man-to-man and make them really work for their their offensive points.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Mynderse needs to make shots. They need to score. In their opening game against Marcus Whitman, they were held to 34 points. You know, they're going to rely on some outside shooting. They're going to need to knock them down. Waterloo, same way, is going to rely on outside shooting. At least they have so far this year. Mynderse has to not give them open looks. But I think we could have a good game here.
Yeah, and it's more of the youth, too. Mynderse has Griffin Heron and Nate Seeley as seniors and Caleb Stenquist. That's it, just 3 seniors on this team. A lot of returners for Mynderse last year, but they were freshmen and sophomore last year. And still in a little bit of a rebuild mode here for Coach Pat Prain. And on the other end, Waterloo's got some, pivotal senior basketball players in Julian Ruiz and Johnny Lawrence. I'm sorry.
Joel Kraft.
Joel Kraft, yep.
One of the things that struck me looking at the rosters was the size differential. Not that Waterloo's a huge team, but they're just consistently bigger from top to bottom of that roster.
Well, this is a small Mynderse team.
Very small.
Traditionally, we tend to have some small players, but this collective group is not the biggest of groups. There's a couple of JV kids that could come in next year and help as juniors that they have some height. But I'd be remiss to mention Mike Hubbard as well, another Waterloo senior that's been on varsity for 3 or 4 years. So, Waterloo really bringing back a strong contingent of basketball players. You got Nick Champion, the senior shooter off the bench, and I think this is a year that Waterloo really should,
well, this is
push
what I
again
said,
to contend
Corsi.
for the league and another try at a sectional finals.
My take on Waterloo. Last sectional championship, 1972, right?
Correct.
Last year was kind of like a watershed year for Waterloo. First year beat a Mynderse since 2007. They beat them twice, and they had a winning record.
Stop rubbing it in.
But everybody was so excited about their success. Third place Finger Lakes East first round sectional exit to
Yep.
a higher seeded Geneva team. So in my mind, they really didn't accomplish as much as you might think from all the hype.
Right.
This year's team, I'd like to see deliver a little more substance.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think if you were to interview new head coach Tim Darnell, we talked about this the last time we covered the Waterloo Canandaigua game, is he's really just trying to get the Waterloo sportsmanship back into the program, really just kind of touch that reputation that they developed over the last year or two. And, back when, you think about Waterloo basketball, for your longtime listeners, think about Coach Spossato's teams that were very strong and physical, but always played the game with respect and treated the opponents with respect. And, that's been the case for a long time. And I think last year more people were talking about all the on and off the court incidents with Waterloo basketball and not so much the good basketball that Coach Mark Pittifer had them playing. So it was kind of a mix.
And then on the Mynderse side here, I'm excited to see how Nick Jones has progressed. We talk about size. He brings a little bit of size to the table. And one of my favorite players to watch that I think really doesn't get much credit is Jake Smith.
Absolutely. Jake Smith does a lot of little things that aren't box score things.
Right.
Draws about a charge every other game, sometimes 2 charges in a game.
Good with the ball.
Good defensively. He stays poised out there. He doesn't get rattled too much. Jake's just that all-around kind of player that isn't going to stand out and score 20 in a night or get a lot of rebounds, but, he's kind of the glue that holds it all together.
And I think that, another thing I'm really excited about is the 2 sophomores in Cabot and Bogart. I think people are kind of waiting for them to emerge and lead this next era of Mynderse basketball. And I'm excited to see, how they do tonight against a crosstown rival.
Absolutely. And again, we can't forget about the head coach. Definitely an upgrade in the coaching staff here at Mynderse Academy.
I agree.
We got Coach Pat Prain on the sidelines for his first full year of varsity basketball. He did win a sectional title as a kind of replacement coach or assistant coach.
Of the year, co-coach of the year in Class B.
Yeah, and so he brings a lot of passion and knowledge and wisdom to the game. I think 2 of the better coaches in the Finger Lakes here tonight with Coach Darnell and Coach Prain.
And this would also be a chance to tell you that you can support our mission here at FingerLakes1.com by becoming a patron at www.patreon.com/FL1. We'd like to thank Bob Mitchell and John Bones Lorenzetti, legendary high school basketball official, for their great support and helping us to bring you high school basketball on Finger Lakes 1. Yeah.
So Corzy's going to leave us to do the PA announcements again. So.
And take my pen while he's at it, right?
Yeah.
FingerLakes1.com website development and digital marketing is more than just the most popular website and media outlet in the Finger Lakes. We've been building and hosting websites and email service for hundreds of local businesses since 1999. This is not only the end of
20 years.
The new year coming up, but it's the end of the decade.
Yeah, that's true. 2020 in just a couple weeks. It's hard to believe. Seems almost like science fiction.
So, it'll be an interesting matchup. Tim Darnell, fine player in high school at Clyde and college player as well. And hopefully it's nice to see a big crowd out here.
Oh, I mean, it is capacity crowd. You couldn't squeeze many more in here, and the first game was a bit of a snoozer on the scoreboard. Hoping to see a more competitive game here in the second half of our doubleheader. And then, of course, we go back to Waterloo in January for a rematch, but we're going to step aside, I guess, for the national anthem.
And we will return for the start of this game after these words.
At FingerLakes1.com, we have always pledged to you to bring the most comprehensive local news coverage, access to timely information, and a locally focused, entertaining media option. Support FingerLakes1.com and help us bring you more great local sports coverage like this by visiting patreon.com/FL1.
DiSanto Propane is 4 generations strong as a trustworthy family-owned business with unmatched customer service. Go online at DiSantoPropane.com for more info. DISANTO Propane.com or call toll-free at 1-800-752-4574 today. DiSanto. Since 1937, the difference has been DiSanto Propane.
Generations Bank is celebrating 150 years of serving and supporting our hometowns. Visit mygenbank.com for the best choices in checking, savings, home equities, mortgages, and much more. Generations has been the Finger Lakes Bank since 1870. Generations Bank, member FDIC.
Well, as we look at so far, both teams sporting a 1-2 record, as Waterloo lost a close one at Newark to open the season, 66-59, and then a 3-point loss against Canandaigua in that tournament. Then they came back with a big victory on the 10th of December a week ago against Midlakes, 74-47. Mynderse also 1-2. They lost at Whitman 45-34 and at Newark 65-43, and then came back with a 13-point victory on the last Friday at Pelmac 48-35. So it should be a competitive game, I would think.
Yeah,
Jim.
I mean, we had Waterloo #1 in our preseason power rankings. I really thought that they were going to come back with the most talent, the most depth, and a new coach. And they lost to Newark by 7 in a game that shouldn't have been that close. They were out-rebounded tremendous. And Korzie and I called that game in Newark. And I was really impressed with Newark's athleticism. And they have a freshman, Rayshawn Howard, who was incredible. But despite being dominated on the glass in that game, they hung around because they were able to make so many three-pointers. I think they made 12 or 13. So I left that game still impressed with Waterloo, but when they came back the next night and lost to Canandaigua, that made me maybe rethink that they're quite there yet to be the top-ranked team in our power rankings. And then, the win against Midlakes is a solid win. And then Mynderse, 2 years ago they blew Marcus Whitman out of this gym, and they open up with him this year in Whitman and lose by 20, only scoring 34 points. Then they lose to Newark, which wasn't that big of a surprise, but they were actually in that game to the fourth quarter. They got outscored like 22-2 in the last 4 minutes of that game. And then a solid win, on the road against Pelmac. So I think it's going to be a good barometer for both teams here, and I'm excited to see them play.
Well, it's nice also for Waterloo. They'd been down for a number of years to see them in this position where they can contend. And they'll be starting Julian Ruiz, Michael Hubbard, Kyle Saluka, Devin Felber, and Joel Kraft. On the other side for the Blue Devils here at home under first-year head coach, or at least his first full year, Pat Prain, Griffin Heron, Jared King, Troy Cabot, Thomas Santana, and Mike Bogart.
And what do you think of these new uniforms for Mynderse? They're bringing back the red.
Yeah, I like them.
Jury's still out for me.
I like the Waterloo Boys uniforms better than and they are noticeably bigger, though, much like the first game.
Yeah, Bogart's got a lot of pressure on Bogart, the sophomore, in the paint tonight.
Opening shot is a bomb from outside, and you heard Kevin and Jim say they like to throw up those trifectas.
We're going to see a lot of three-pointers tonight, for sure.
My pen. No, I thought you'd forget, though.
Here comes Griffin Heron with the
So
basketball.
Heron with the headband on.
Here's Cabot.
Cabot looking.
Cabot's
also
gotten
with
bigger
a
since
headband.
last year, huh, Korzy?
Yes, he has.
Yeah, Kevin has filled out a little bit. Spent some time. He does lift and play.
Another turnover, much like the first game. with the girls won
What
by
do you think?
54-21.
What do you think of the unis?
I like the unis for both teams. Waterloo, I think those are new uniforms, a little more black than the gray that the girls have. And I like the red, a little red in the Mynderse Academy uniform. I'd like to say I have a little part in that. So if you don't like them, sorry about that.
No, I'm not. The jury's still out. I don't know if I like them or not. Oh, you got to shoot that, right? There it goes.
He will.
Three.
He'll certainly pull it. He's got to pull it quicker, though. It has to be more of a natural reaction rather than a force. You know, like, oh, I'm open, I'm going to take the shot.
Yeah,
catch and shoot, and he'll do that. You'll see it tonight. One thing he's going to do very well, catch and shoot for the next 3 years,
Nice
which is fine.
defensive play there by Mynderse.
And Mynderse really relies on him for a lot of their scoring. He's their leading scorer at this point, Cabot is. And they need him to catch and shoot that ball when he's open.
Both teams looking to get on the board. Mynderse with the ball. Minute and a half into this one.
Oh, there is, maybe? No?
Long bomb from outside. Back irons, no.
And another thing right there from Bogart. Maybe I'll shoot it.
Right.
You know, step into the shot and shoot the ball. Be confident.
The crowd kind of waiting. It's a big crowd, but they're currently sitting on their hands a little bit because nobody's done anything for 2 minutes. We could have that rhythmic chant that can take a long time to sit down at Syracuse before the first bucket is scored. Tap in, no good. Here's the shot. It's good. And one.
And that's where Mynderse has kind of struggled all year, is with that big guy inside, and Kraft can really capitalize on this interior front court for Mynderse by pounding that glass, and that was just on help, and nobody rebounded. Jared King stuck to defend him. That's a big mismatch down low as far as height goes. Kraft to the line to complete the traditional three-point play.
Kind of a sideways stance as he rims out.
So a newcomer here on the scene, Thomas Santana.
Getting his first start, his varsity start. Coach Prain was telling me the other days, real impressed with his hustle and play out on the court.
Looking for his evil ways.
Nice back
inside pass, and the layup is good by Cabot.
That was a great backdoor cut and find. Sophomore to sophomore, Bogart to Cabot. You're going to hear those names a lot over the next 3 years at Mynderse Academy.
And we're tied at a deuce apiece. Turnaround jumper, nice move. Pretty shot on the fadeaway.
I like this Felber kid, the way he plays, Jim. You know, I watched him in JV last year as Waterloo comes out in the press. He struggled in the first game against Canandaigua, his very first game, but he's going to have a good couple years as a varsity player as well.
Yeah,
They said Cabot again on the back door. Missed him, Bogart.
Griffin Heron barking out some offensive instructions. Little Euro step there.
And Heron's bringing a lot of experience to the point guard position.
He really
Long
does,
bomb,
you know.
Going to be short.
Obviously, I coached Griffin last year. He's a kid that doesn't play a lot of basketball in the offseason. Soccer's his favorite sport, then baseball, maybe basketball and baseball, I like the same. But, you know, he's athletic enough and heady enough and confident enough to stand out there and be the point guard as a junior and senior. And he's done a good job of it.
And he's looking to play soccer at the next level.
Right.
Hubbard missed the three, but they retained possession on the long Saluka rebound. Now they go to the other side, and he misses from that corner.
Yeah, Hubbard's a good shooter. Streaky, though. All these Waterloo shooters aren't solid shooters, you know, but they're streaky and good enough shooters to get hot and put a lot of points up in quick bunches.
Rim shot out.
Jared King, that looked good from where we were sitting.
Boy, they like to fire it up.
They love
here.
that three. Great box out by Mike Bogart, getting position on this bigger, stronger senior Joel Kraft. Now, Thomas Santana's not going to put a lot of points up for Mynderse. He's out there to be a role player and pass. And nice move by King on the fake handoff. Got to finish that.
Go.
And you got to get back now.
He gets a little pouty sometimes.
Yep.
Coach Payne will get on him like I used to. But, you know, he doesn't like to miss those easy ones. But he'll fight. He's a fighter all the time.
There's a collision and a Mynderse foul.
Similar to the girls' game, when you come in the underdog a little bit, you got to make those layups. You got to hit those layups. Here's a great backdoor find. Coach Prain's been doing a lot of the work early on in the year, of a lot of backdoor stuff, and it showed right there that they did it with some confidence. That stuff takes a while to install and get used to. So, you know, for the fourth or fifth game of the year, it's pretty good that you saw something there that early of it.
Nick Jones and Jake Smith now in the game.
Yeah, the first two subs.
Turnaround jumper is nothing but the bottom of the net for Barnett.
Kyle Saluka.
Wrong
sorry
side.
about
That's
that.
all right. Kyle Saluka. Younger brother of Derek Sluka. We talked about him at the top of the show. Really good athlete, Kyle is. Again, super streaky shooter. If he gets hot, there's really nobody in the gym that can guard him.
Good looking shot, but at back irons, fight for the ball. And 2 Waterloo players outbattled 1 Mynderse players. They all had their hand on it. Ruiz.
All right, we got to go Ruiz tonight. He confirmed it at the earlier game.
Said?
Yeah, he said he likes to be called Ruiz, but he doesn't care. He's pretty laid back, chill kid, but it is Ruiz.
Well, I'll try to remember that.
That's all right.
Tony
I told him I'd tell everybody.
Dorsett and Tony Dorsett.
Yeah. There's Hubbard again for the 3.
Yeah, that corner shot hasn't went so far, and a nice rebound
Mynderse has to score because those 3s aren't going to keep missing.
by Heron the other way.
That's a shot right there, Bogart. It's a good shot right there. But see how a difference of him catching, step back, I'm shooting as soon as I catch it. That's what he's got to do. And when he has it, you can, I've coached Michael a long time. He's in the same grade as my son. And you can see tonight he's got a little confidence in his step. Maybe he'll have a big game.
Substitutions for Waterloo into the game.
Yeah, that's Brian Oddie in, number 10, and the junior Brian Oddie, and number 3, the senior Johnny Lawrence.
Mynderse down 6-2 with the basketball. You can just see more physical maturity on the Waterloo side of things there.
Oh, sure, yeah. We, our junior class, real stout, but
There you
there
go.
it is. There's
the
Cabot.
bucket. That 3-pointer is good by Cabot.
And again, this is Mynder's MO. Like they play Whitman, who's very good. In this similar thing, they had a lead at the end of first quarter. They're a good, scrappy defensive team.
Yep.
There is quickness and athleticism out there for Mynderse. It's just not in the size that you'd like on a basketball court. And that goes back to coaching. If you're not as big and strong and physical as the other team, and you can hold them down to low numbers, that's just good defensive coaching.
Here's the bucket try, no good, an air ball. Cabot, the only player in the scoring column with all 5 of the Mynderse points as Waterloo throws it away.
Yeah, Ruiz on the turnover, and he knows it. And we watched that a little bit, Jim, in that Canandaigua game. He had too many turnovers there, and he's really got to make better decisions as one of the best point guards really in the Finger Lakes East. Maybe the best.
Big Nate Seeley comes into the game, the 6'4" senior for Mynderse. Got a chance to see him.
From here, it looked like it's a good call.
Golfer.
Good officiating.
85, 90-degree weather with the Weed Eater at Seneca Falls Country
Yes,
Club.
he was a fine employee.
Yeah, and a heck of a golfer. Golf is his favorite sport.
So who are the best point guards in the Finger Lakes East? We got Ruiz. We got Liam Ryan for Geneva.
Liam Ryan in Geneva, absolutely. I don't know if Mason Blankenberg's playing. I don't know if I consider him. He's still young.
Oh, he's off to a good start.
Yeah,
but
he's probably a
22
guard.
points in that win.
Reynolds, I think, is the
Reynolds
point
is running
guard.
the point.
I think so.
Well, let's see him Friday night on Finger Lakes 1.
Nice pass,
Great
and
pass.
the land is good by Oddie. Under a minute to go, first quarter, low scoring game, 8-5. So,
what about Josh Green at Newark?
little reach-in foul.
No, I'd take Ruiz any day. I think Ruiz is the best point guard in the league. But yeah, Green did a good job. I know the night I saw him. I'm not sure how he did against Victor, but yeah, probably Liam Riley and
Ryan, yeah.
Yes, thanks. Yep. Liam Ryan and Ruiz. And, I'd throw Griffin in that mix just because he handles the ball so well, and he's not a scorer like the other guys.
Woo!
But just that driving kick right there, that stuff, he holds this team together for sure.
The corner bomb is good. Nothing but the bottom of the net.
And I know his dad's listening, so he'll yell at us if I don't throw his name in there.
And answering was Waterloo.
Ruiz with his Ruiz.
You say how you like
11-8.
to say it. It's fine. He don't care.
11 for Waterloo, 8 for Cabot.
Got Troy again.
He's got it. Tries to drive through traffic. I think there was some contact on the reach-in.
Good hustle.
And now their bodies on the floor. There's an assault going on at Mynderse Academy.
Good hustle, good sportsmanship by the Waterloo kids. It's nice to see Felber quick to the ground. He's a hustler for sure. And then Johnny Lawrence and Felber helping Jake Smith up off the ground. That's what you want to see, Jim, in tight games like this. Kids battling hard, fighting until the last minute, and then sticking a hand down and helping each other out.
Just 5.3 seconds left in the quarter.
Make them put it on the bounce.
There's a little head fake and a bomb at the buzzer, in and out, and we've come to the end of one, 11-8. Waterloo leads.
Waterloo
over
11,
Mynderse.
Troy Cabot 8.
Yeah, Troy Cabot's got all 8.
We'll be back for second quarter action after these words.
Generations Bank is celebrating 150 years of serving and supporting our hometowns. Visit mygenbank.com for the best choices in checking, savings, home equities, mortgages, and much more. Generations has been the Finger Lakes Bank since 1870. Generations Bank, member FDIC. All roads lead to Bill Cram Chevrolet, Waterloo Thruway Exit 41, Highway 5 and 20 in Seneca Falls. Browse their full Cramtastic new and used vehicle inventory online at BillCramChevrolet.com, supporting high school athletes for the past 50 years. Dr. Littlejohn, Dr. Barbie, and their outstanding orthodontic team share a common goal to ensure the overall wellness of each of their patients through their exceptional orthodontic care. Dr. Rod Littlejohn and Dr. Liz Barbie are proud to support our area high school athletes. Check out Dr. Rod and Dr. Liz online at littlejohnortho.com.
11-8 after one, and I guess it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to say Mynderse Academy needs to get some scoring from other players, as Cabot has all 8 first quarter points for Mynderse.
Yeah, it's been the story of the season, Dave.
And Caitlin is closer on that prediction right now than
good
Macy.
right now after one, right?
Yeah, low scoring first quarter.
Macy had him putting up numbers. Cabot feeling it, little heat check. Never got his body totally square. And that's something to learn as he gets older. What's a good shot when his body's set and when not set.
Waterloo moving the ball outside. They love that 3. Driving the lane, little head fake, travel. Yeah. Nice move.
It was a good strong
the
move
up and
by
under.
Lawrence. He just took that extra step to get that better angle.
So one of the more interesting games of the night. Got my first update here.
Game of the night, really. I
think.
Sorry.
Lions hosting Whitman, and they're up 16-9 after one. The Lions are up 16-9 over Whitman after first period. So we'll be getting updates throughout the night.
Welcome to the Atwood Marcus Whitman Wildcats, right?
Such a fun place. Oh, they missed.
Troy sometimes does that. I don't know if he's open or not. Thinks he's open. He's like one of those receivers, you know?
And
he's always open.
Throwaway and a steal. Look out below, and the layup is good by Lawrence.
Yeah, it's a carry. Called travel, same thing, but he kind of caught the ball. Coach Prain's getting the timeout, help set up the press. Timeout Mynderse.
And with that timeout, we'd like to thank Generations Bank. Generations Bank at several locations. For your banking and insurance needs, mygenbank.com. Little John Orthodontics, who also sponsors our Smiles with Style post-game show. Little John Orthodontics. Check them out at littlejohnortho.com. And Bill Cram Chevrolet with a huge selection of new and used inventory. And you can check that out in person or at billcramchevrolet.com. Some of our fine sponsors here on Finger Lakes 1, helping to bring you tonight's doubleheader action. Waterloo Mynderse rivalry style in Seneca County. And
Northern
a good crowd
Seneca
on
County.
the end.
There's a look at some of the games from around the league tonight. We mentioned that Marcus Whitman Lions game. Clyde Savannah's been playing pretty good, but they dropped one to Sodus, which was a bit surprising. And Honeywell, Dave, is
jump ball.
I don't know that I've seen that
angle.
I've seen it happen a number of times.
Not like that.
Longer shots, but off a little gentle, soft bounce on an inside shot.
I agree 100%, Dave.
Pretty rare.
We missed
rarely
it, too.
see that.
We missed it. We were showing the Wing
Schedule
Finger Lake
tonight.
schedule. But, Honeywell is down in Ovid at the Jack Guinan tonight, taking on South Seneca.
And off
the
that's
back.
the old play, the old rec league
That'll be on
play
the highlight reel.
where Ruiz passed the ball inbounds off the back of a Mynderse defender and laid it in.
Good take.
Nice.
That's the right angle. That's the right play, but no, everybody was standing on that drive by Smith.
Waterloo with a heat check right here. We got the lead up to 9. And
love Mike Hubbard.
Hubbard with the bucket. In danger time, Will Robinson for Mynderse Academy.
They stopped taking care of the basketball, and that's just leading to too many easy points for Waterloo.
And it looks like Waterloo's defense just seems more in level of intensity. Here's the bomb outside. Mynderse could use one, they didn't get it. Rebound inside. And
getting fouled.
Driving the lanes, throws up a runner too hard. And here comes Waterloo the other way, a chance to go up double digits. Driving,
Hubbard.
kicking it back out, long bomb, yes!
Good pass by Nick Champion to set up the wide open look for Hubbard, who's getting hot here. And 20-8 the lead is. Mynderse out of control offensively.
Spinning move and drawing the foul and needing that. And you can almost sense a little bit of duress, and Mynderse looks a little rattled right now.
Here's the
inbound play off of Rez. He's got to get his feet established, which I believe he did. Yep, perfect play.
Easy too.
Heads up play by the senior guard.
Left-hander at the line for Mynderse, and this is the free throw.
Well, the youth is showing.
Well, Bogart, I teach him that to turn and see people, not the ball, in that position. But you got to kind of have your head on a swivel there a little bit. But if you turn around and watching that ball in that position, then you're going to miss cutters all the time.
Right.
So you got to just have a little glance out of there. But you're right, just a little too much youth.
Yeah.
Not only on that play, I was more talking about the way that Mynderse is responding to this run from Waterloo.
Yeah, you can see the body language very apparent. And it's still early and just a 12-point game.
That's the stuff that's the Saluka Kyle can't do. Your team's on a run, then it's just not a good shot.
Yeah.
It's just really a poor decision,
Bogart,
especially when the team's playing good.
Bogart had the strong defensive rebound down.
Like to see that shot maybe if the team's struggling a little bit.
Mynderse needs one.
Yeah.
Long three, left side, in and out. Rebound fought for him. Waterloo comes away with it. The Tribe in their orange uniforms, black numerals, white trim. Numbers I can read.
Hubbard's got the hot hand.
Yep.
That little spurt has them with a 12-point lead as we approach midway second quarter. Halftime will feature a couple of high school guests that Kevin will interview.
Oh, come on.
Oh, they lost it right out of bounds.
And
Mynderse
frustration.
really showing, Jim. You're right.
Still in this ball game, though.
Yeah, it's early, but they got to find some more ways to score. And like you said, it's the storyline of their season. They just can't put the ball in the basket.
You got a reach-in foul on Mynderse as well.
Thomas Santana with a foul.
Kraft with really impressive size.
It's funny. It's a great matchup for him. We called the Canandaigua game Waterloo Newark, and Kraft was a little undermatched inside with all the size that Newark has. So
Waterloo looks small on the court with Newark. Yeah,
Newark's got a really big team this year.
And the inbounds pass results in a long two-pointer from just behind the elbow. The bucket is good by Saluka.
Felber.
Or that was Felber?
Young sapling. I don't know. He needs a nickname. Timeout.
That's very good, Jim, the sapling.
Waterloo, I think the officials are really letting these guys play. I thought Griffin got bumped and hand-checked a few times there. And if that's the case, and that tends to be the case in all games, you got to kind of read how the officials call. That really plays in Waterloo's favor with their athleticism and strength that they have over Mynderse.
Timeout on the court, and we're going to be looking for that DiSanto propane heat check. Since 1937, the difference has been DiSanto propane. And Cicino's Pizza and Restaurant with 3 locations. In Waterloo, the original, in Geneva, and also at Del Lago, which I've went to once or twice in my time.
Today.
Order online at Cicinos.com. And also, we will have the Cicinos player of the game. Of course, in the opening game, Macy Carr, the recipient of that.
So you got a pizza?
What a great interview she was, too, I thought.
She
I
was. Her
believe
maturity
a
was
sophomore.
impressive.
Yeah, it was. She did a good job. Something she'll have around forever.
So Mynderse, showing, getting rattled. And Waterloo is kind of turning it up defensively.
This is where you need Griffin Herron as the senior to settle everybody down and kind of reset here. And just stop making, shooting yourself in the foot with mistakes.
They break the press nicely. Open 3 ball. Doesn't get it to go. Knocked out of bounds. It'll be Waterloo basketball.
I think that plays into Coach Darnell's hands if Thomas Santana's going to take that shot, right out of a good press break. Stops and settles for, it was a 3. I think it was a 3 or pretty. He might have had a foot on the line. But it just, attacked the glass.
Yeah. Got to have him hit one of those.
Got to get a better shot.
No, that guy can shoot it, but he missed that
one.
Oh,
push from behind. They're going to get Mynderse on the foul. And then
I agree. Get pushed into Jared King. Bogart with a push from behind.
Got the watery eyes now, I'll bet, as his nose ran into the body of the Mynderse player.
King is tough. I mean, he is a tough individual for a 17-year-old kid.
Directing traffic outside, Saluka. He's going to take it himself. Doesn't get the roll, and a good rebound. Really climbing the ladder.
Yeah, but again,
Bogart.
not a good shot. He went up one hand. He's forcing it. Just got to take better shots. Both ends, really. It's not just one kid or 2 kids. Shot selection is important.
Mynderse has to find a hot hand somewhere.
That's a good
Open
shot.
3 won't go from the corner.
Nice tip by Herron.
Oh, you got to make that, Mike.
Yes. Should have got the assist and the rebound on the same play.
Stop and pop from
Crafton.
Yeah, he banked it in.
Or excuse me, Saluka, and he got the glass.
Bank's open, Dave.
After hours.
Hang, foul, no.
Cabot's forcing a little bit too much, too.
I was like to say he went to the bank after hours, but I'm on a mission to change the terminology in this country because banks are now open longer. Instead, the post offices are never open.
There you go.
Yeah, well, it doesn't work well when you bank a shot and you say post office.
Maybe after a nice post move.
We don't want him to go postal. And another missed free throw from Mynderse.
So, Cabot usually would shoot at a higher clip tonight from the 3-point line and the foul line. That's the difference,
Well, he's his percentage hasn't been great, Jim. He takes a lot of shots. He's got 8 points. His percentage is okay tonight, probably 25 to 30%, which has been his clip all year. But he's got to go to the foul line and make these shots. He got 1 or 2 there.
20.
But again, I think he probably needs a little bit of a blow here. He hasn't had a sub yet, but if you're Coach Prain, what do you do? I mean, nobody else really even looks to score too much.
2:47 in the second period, and they got 9 points.
Yeah,
and he's got 9 points.
He's got all 9 points.
Right.
Yeah,
that just shouldn't happen on any team.
Yeah, it was more prophetic than I'd even thought of being in between quarters there, saying they need to get more scores. Nearly a steal there, and Mynderse does come away with it. But even though they've had open looks for their shots,
but there's a situation there. Just Griffin got a nice match with Lawrence, can't guard Bogart. Now they switched it back, Kraft on him, and they try to go over. They missed it before, but Michael wasn't posting hard either. Griffin didn't look for him hard.
And the extra
Lawrence
step in the lay-in is good.
Little Euro step, Dave.
Yes, sir. Lawrence.
You don't want to get him heating up.
That was a pretty move. Second bucket of the quarter for John.
Again, Bogart missed in the post.
27.
Mynderse has to establish some sort of post game. Can't just pass it around and look for threes.
27-9, and another missed 3 ball by Mynderse, and knocked out of bounds to Waterloo.
By the scrappy Jake Smith.
Well, Waterloo.
Here's the Euro step by Lawrence.
1-2, and
yep, that's a good call. There's good no call.
Yep,
nice move.
Waterloo started slowly offensively, as did Mynderse, but Mynderse has stayed stuck there, not doing much.
Their half-court defense has been good.
Yeah.
And turnaround shot won't
What
go.
do you think about Sluka banked in that 3? Really, I mean, holding 24 points, pretty good.
And most of a lot
That's
of those came in transition at the beginning of this quarter.
A couple off turnovers.
1 minute to go in a quickly moving first half here from the Arthur L. Baker Gymnasium. Looking for help, had the open man. Top of the key. There's an open three from downtown. Again, a miss. 27-9 near steal.
How can you not?
Lorenzetti's shot won't go. Rebound, and he's had a bunch of them.
Ruiz.
With 25 seconds left in the first half. It's all Waterloo. Doesn't feel like they've done a heck of a lot
Nick
on
Jones.
offense. Shot no good again. How many? They're 0-4 the first half, except for the Cabot 2 threes. And there's a quick foul. 27-9 your score. And
7 seconds left. They got 9 points.
And, and only one player scored.
I know,
just
it's
unreal.
They've got set. Now, if I was on this Minders team, I'd say, holy 7 seconds. Troy's got all the point. I'm going to drive down and I'm just going to score the ball.
All
just
right.
because they can't say we only had one player score. Good defensive effort, a couple sloppy turnovers, but a lot of bad forced shots, I think, from Minders.
We had a
the offense breaks down, or they're not comfortable looking for their shot, and they force it. Got a 30-second timeout here by Waterloo.
Yeah, Waterloo. Kind of a bit of a surprise. They're going to set up some corner.
Well,
press.
he loses it if he doesn't use it. So he's just saying, hey, you know what he's telling them? We got fouls to give. Okay, so we're 3 fouls. When it gets down to about 3 seconds, go for a steal. Be aggressive. They're letting you play. See if you can get a steal and a run out. If you get a foul, I'm not mad at you. Just be aggressive. So I'm sure that's what Coach Darnell's probably talking about in this, and setting up a defensive set.
So this was there were games like this on the other side of the ledger for, it seemed like, most of the decade.
It's true.
It was.
And Waterloo.
The last 2 years.
Then they would feature some teams with younger players, but they never really stepped up many levels, and they just didn't win that many
I never
games.
felt like Waterloo took advantage of Ben Deming. When he was here, he was a great player. I know that, on the girls' side of things, Lauren Deming and Lindsey Johnson, they had a great team. So on the girls' side, it's kind of been more even. But really, for the past 15 years until last year and apparently this year, it's been
There's a shot at the half. It won't go. And 28-9, all Waterloo. And a lot of smiles on the faces of their players as they walk by us here at the Finger Lakes 1 broadcast location in Seneca Falls. And we will break for these halftime words.
Of course, he's coming back with another interview.
This live presentation of high school basketball on FingerLakes1.com is made possible thanks to the support from Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant, celebrating 23 years in the Finger Lakes with locations at 22 Main Street in Waterloo, 40 Exchange Street in Geneva, and Del Lago Resort and Casino. Dine-in, takeout, delivery, catering, and banquets. Order online at Cicinos.com. Live, laugh, and eat well. It's the Italian way. Finger Lakes Partners Insurance. For your life, home, auto, and future. Whether it's your first car, second home, or third child, the experienced professionals at Finger Lakes Partners can recommend the coverage that best utilizes and protects your assets. With offices in Geneva, Victor, and Waterloo, and online at fingerlakesinsurance.com. Since 1937, the difference has been DiSanto Propane. 4 generations strong, DiSanto Propane is a trustworthy, family-owned business with unmatched customer service. Go online at DiSantoPropane.com or call 1-800-752-4574 and look for DiSanto Propane on Facebook. Ferrara Lumber has been locally owned for 3 generations and is more than just a lumber and building supplier. Stop in on Baird Street in Seneca Falls to browse their full section of power tools, hardware, lawn and garden, painting, and plumbing supplies, and talk to their experienced staff before planning your next home improvement project. Brad Van Dusen Photography is a full-service photographer serving the Finger Lakes region, offering family, senior, and wedding portraits, also specializing in sports photos, collages, banners, and other keepsakes for your student-athlete. For more information, find Brad on Facebook or visit BradVanDusenPhotography.com. Penny's Place Family Restaurant, located on 5 and 20 in the Liberty Plaza between Seneca Falls and Waterloo. Well known for their large portions and home-cooked meals, a large selection of breakfast items, and everything from burgers, salads, and wraps for lunch. If you want a great meal while pinching a penny, come to Penny's Place. Jimmer's Auto offers a full inventory of late model cars, trucks, and minivans. Check out their full inventory online at jimmersauto.com. And for service, visit STEVER'S Garage on Fall Street in Seneca Falls. Jimmer's Auto and STEVER'S Garage, strong supporters of local high school athletes for over 40 years. It's a wonderful run 5K. It's a winter run like no other through the streets of Seneca Falls, the town that inspired Frank Capra's holiday classic, It's a Wonderful Life. Learn more and register at itsawonderfulrun5k.com. Red's Place in downtown Seneca Falls, locally owned for 43 years and serving great lunches Monday through Friday from 11:30 to 2 p.m. Legendary soups, wraps, salads, and the best burgers in town. For over 65 years, the Wilson Press has been serving Central New York as commercial printers with a full-service mail house. Specializing in offset and digital printing, graphic design services, full mail house services, marketing and advertising plans, and fundraising programs, call them today at 315-568-9693 or visit them online at wpress.com. Connie's Diner on Main Street in Waterloo has the ambiance you will only find in a true diner. Let the Cardozola family serve your next breakfast, lunch, or dinner from their vast menu of time-tested favorites and original recipes. Visit them online at connieswaterloo.com. And FingerLakes1.com digital marketing, website development, hosting, multimedia production, and home of the most popular website and mobile app in the Finger Lakes. Help FingerLakes1.com bring you more great live local sports coverage by becoming a supporter at patreon.com/FL1.
It's Big Truckin' Deals here at Bill Cram Chevrolet. Check out this cram-tastic inventory for big truckin' deals. Whatever truck you're looking for, we've got the inventory. Trucks for towing, trucks for family, trucks for work, and trucks for fun. Whatever you're into, we've got a big truckin' deal waiting for you. All roads lead to Bill Cram Chevrolet, Waterloo Exit 41, Highway 5 and 20 in Seneca Falls. See all our truckin' deals at BillCramChevrolet.com.
And welcome back to the Arthur L. Baker Gymnasium in Seneca Falls, New York, where Waterloo still leads 28-9 on the boys' side. The girls led the entire evening, and the boys have also now led the entire evening. Captain Goins, good night for Waterloo. Beside me, Caitlin Korzeniewski is back in the booth. She sat in on the third quarter of the girls' game. And to my right on your screen left is Waterloo junior Allie Smith. Welcome aboard, Allie.
Thank you.
So I'm going to ask these guys a couple quick questions, just like I did with the boys earlier, and give them a chance to talk a little bit and showcase the student athletes rather than the Finger Lakes One staff. So we're going to start with you, Allie.
All right.
Okay? And put the pressure on because you're getting all the success tonight, Waterloo. Favorite place to eat in the area?
I'd say Parker's.
Parker's in Seneca Falls.
Yep.
Do you have a favorite go-to meal there?
Their buffalo chicken wrap.
Buffalo chicken wrap. Griffin Heron was on before, and he said the buffalo chicken wings. Maybe you should tell him the wrap's a little better.
It is.
Yeah. All right. Caitlin, how about you? What's your favorite place to eat locally?
Probably Parker's or Connie's.
Connie's Diner, a sponsor of the show, Connie's Diner. How about a favorite go-to meal at Connie's?
At Connie's, I would say like a chicken Caesar wrap.
Chicken Caesar wrap. I
Salad
love
wrap.
Connie's. Connie's is great. Great breakfast over there at Connie's. Okay, girls. What'd you think of your game, Allie? What was like the feeling in the locker room after?
I mean, it was a good win. I think we could have played harder than we did, but a win's a win, so I think it was
Now,
good for us.
just out of curiosity, because I'm a coach and I watch these interviews as well, do you think you could have played harder, or did Coach Bree think you could have played harder?
I think we both thought we could have
did?
played harder, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. I thought you guys played pretty hard. Maybe not as a successful offensive night
Yeah.
as you had all season, but Minders played pretty good D. They played hard too. They just couldn't get the ball in the bucket, similar to the boys' team here. Okay, next question. I'm going to give you a chance to thank someone in your athletic careers that have helped you be successful. Caitlin, we are going to start with you this time and give Allie a chance to think about it.
Okay, I'm going to thank you. Seriously, no. Thanks for always being so supportive of me. Love you.
Allie, she's going to make me cry. You weren't supposed to say your father. I should have told you that. You should have thanked somebody else besides your father. But I appreciate it. Allie, how about you?
I'd like to thank my mom. She always comes and supports me, always brings me to extra sports that I do. She's always there for me.
She is always there. I always see her in the stands, and she's coached you in soccer and, really pushed all three of you guys. I know the Smith family very well. Ma's great, but, she's done a lot for you, your brother and sister. So, but a lot of love to your dad. And your mom out there as well.
And
Give
Mom,
him a shout out.
love you, Mom. You're great.
That's right. All right, girls, next question. What's your favorite sport to play in high school? Allie, you first.
I'd say basketball.
Basketball, your number one sport. I said soccer earlier when I was on air. All right, go ahead. Caitlin?
Lacrosse. For sure.
And what does the rivalry mean to you, the Waterloo Minders rivalry? What do you like about it most, Al?
Just every year, breaking the winning or losing streak that we have.
Yeah. How about you?
The intensity. The games are always so much fun, I think.
And then they've been that way since you guys were younger.
Yeah.
Allie and Caitlin are Central New York Western Shock AAU teammates from a couple years ago. They played some AAU ball together. But you guys, you play together. You played against each other as far as I can remember. And they've always been battles, right?
Yep.
You never wanted to lose to the rival. And then you get to come to a night like tonight with a doubleheader. You like the doubleheader, Allie? With both varsity teams?
Yep.
Caitlin?
Yeah, for sure.
Makes it such a better atmosphere.
Yeah.
And then everybody gets to come out and watch. So if you were to pick one sport to play in for the rivalry game, you got one last rivalry game to play, what sport would you pick to play the Minders Waterloo rivalry game in?
I'd say basketball.
Basketball? Yeah. Any reason why?
I feel like it's more intense because you're compact. So many people, right now the stands are filled.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tension.
Basketball is a more intimate setting.
Yep.
And it makes it a little bit harder to handle the pressure at times, I think. Caitlin, what about you?
I agree with basketball. I mean, I love playing lacrosse against Waterloo just because it motivates me personally, but I think it's more of a fun atmosphere during the basketball games.
Yeah, in the last few years, the lacrosse teams have been a little better, as far as league standings and stuff than the two basketball teams.
Yeah,
so I can see that.
Good. So it's
Waterloo lacrosse is excellent.
Yep.
Minders has been very good as of late. So I can see that for sure. Any last words you guys want to shout out to anybody you might have missed? Somebody might be watching from far away or nobody?
I don't know.
Come on, there's got to be somebody. Nobody?
No one. Sorry.
Allie?
No.
Wow. You guys disappointed a little bit. All right, well, I thank you guys for girls for coming on. And Allie, congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck the rest of the way. And Caitlin, thanks for giving your dad a shout out on the air. Thanks, girls. Have a good night.
You too.
We'll see you later. That means get up and get out of here.
Okay. Bye.
We got to get the talent back in. And as the girls step away, we'll be joined back by Finger Lakes 1 owner and co-color tonight, Jim Sinacropi, with Waterloo back leading a 28-9 game. And
come on, let's score, let's go.
Jim, it's been a little bit of a blah night, both games.
I know. Well, we expected it might be a chance, but I did not expect Mynderse Boys, with those kids who I know that are on this team, to come out and score 9 points. They had a decent defensive half. They held Waterloo to 28. 9 points.
I couldn't agree more, Jim. But just as far as coaching this group, all things aside, they're struggling. They'll get it going a little bit. They do struggle. Hopefully they can get it going the rest of the half. But they just haven't found any continuity, any chemistry. Last year it was easy for them. Things went rough. We pounded it inside to the big man.
Darren Miller.
So they're still learning to play without him and to figure out who's the scorers and how they can get good looks. But I credit it, number one, to Waterloo's man-to-man defense.
I give credit to them, too, but these Minders kids they're about basketball players. They got to play, just play.
Yep. There we go. Mike Bogart.
Well, that shot
easier, Chippy.
That shot went in, but I still think he should have took it to the hoop.
To the glass. Take it to the rim. He hears that a lot. Yeah, Jared should have saved that.
Because that was a very tough shot he took and made, actually.
Yeah, it was, but at least, he had that aggression to turn and score, and I'm sure Coach Prane got into these guys at halftime about looking to be more aggressive.
Let me quickly run down the scoring for Minders in the first half. Troy Cabot with 9 points.
I do have another out-of-town score. Newark up 32-17 at the half.
Who was Newark playing, Jim?
That's what I can't remember. I want to say Mid Lakes, but I'm not sure about that.
We got any Lions score updates?
Not since the first quarter. I'm
we got to talk to Kevin.
I got Lions is up 29-18
to
18 at half. So yeah, Penn Newark's playing Penn tonight. Thanks, Jason.
And these guys.
Heron missed Bogart down on the block again there. And again, they're just passing around, chucking threes.
Yeah, that's really, I mean, it's not a high percentage shot to shoot threes anyway, but that there was no really balance, and it was farther out than you like.
But, you know, to the fact that back in Mynderse, they're not even making the entry pass inside to kind of create anything.
Yeah.
It's just pass around the perimeter. And
28-11. Stopping runner won't go.
I don't mind that shot from Sluka.
No, he's got a quick first step. He's a heck of an athlete. One of the best athletes in the Finger Lakes. Great pass from King to Cabot.
Hey, there we go.
Cabot now is tied for leading scorer in the second half.
Him and Bogart.
I mean, that second quarter was 17-1 in Waterloo's favor.
Yeah, that's
so we're already off to a better start if you're a Mynderse fan.
So Luka likes to throw those up, doesn't he?
Yes.
Not shy, and neither is
reverse,
Cabot.
And Cabot with a really nifty reverse layup move.
Poor defense there by Waterloo on the weak side. Nobody closed that off. That's a travel.
And here's a steal by Cabot. Off to the races. Lay it up. Yes! And the foul.
And Mynderse came out to play this half.
Coach Prain must have really let him have it.
Yeah, I would imagine.
I think Cabot got mad because somebody else scored, so now he's on fire with our DiSanto Propane heat check. Troy Cabot, 7 in the quarter.
4 in a row.
And
7 in a row.
16 in the game, 16 of the 17, and a Waterloo timeout.
I wasn't sure there were any Mynderse students here, but apparently they are.
They
They came a little live here.
They stand up, but they don't get too loud. It's something I tried to address, get a little bit better at last year. This is probably the Cabot. Look at this closeout right here. It's Kraft. He never closes out the other side of the rim. It's just bad help defense on this. On Joel. Yeah, he closed. Troy was in a bad spot. He had left his feet. If he just closed it out a little bit, I think Troy would have had himself in some trouble. But a good take by Cabot.
Chance to get it under 10.
What's he got? 8 in a row right here he's going for? Bogart scored the first 2.
He's got 6 straight second half.
He's going for 7 straight right here.
Finger Lakes Partners Insurance, one of our fine sponsors, and you can check them out at fingerlakesinsurance.com as Cabot doesn't get the roll.
He's 1 for 3 from the line today.
I guess we can't fault him too hard, though.
No, Mynderse in the man-to-man. Nice pass.
Nice pass, yes.
Good finish.
Good old, the
looked like
recipient.
Stockton to Malone right there, Dave.
It
Off
did.
The high pick and roll.
Pick and roll, absolutely.
Joe Kraft.
I used to tell my son there were only 2 plays in basketball, the give and go and the pick and roll. He just called me from Sacramento.
Watching?
How's he doing?
He's doing fine. I'll be picking him up at the airport in Syracuse Sunday night.
Here's the pick and roll. It's a good setup. Ruiz go off it. And they doubled the ball, and he found the open man. Textbook.
So Mynderse had a surge there and got the crowd into it. They need to, a little slow
win
on
the
that.
third quarter. No matter how you're doing,
yep.
You win that third quarter, you're usually in position to
challenge.
Yep. Right now they're kind of stagnant.
Could have been steps there. Nice feed inside. Yes! And 1.
That's second time Jared King has found Troy Cabot underneath this quarter by good assist. And Cabot with the second three-point conventional play here.
And a nice feed. They keep
Let's see if he can make the free throw this time.
Yep.
And yes. And he has 18 of the Mynderse
20 points.
Is that right, the 20?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, the only other points are Mike Bogart had a deuce. There's Hubbard.
Nice move, but partially blocked and
Take
then
a dribble.
picked off.
Sorry, sometimes I want to coach these guys still, Jim.
Sometimes. And now directing traffic is Heron.
Good fake by Heron, but he lost it.
Geez.
You know, it was a great fake. He just didn't turn the corner well. Here comes some subs for Mynderse. Nick Jones, Sam Lorenzetti, and Jake Smith into the game. King, Santana, and Heron take a break.
We got a ball game, just a 10-point margin.
Yeah.
And Mynderse got to feel a little bit better about themselves.
First time for Sammy Lorenzetti tonight.
Yep.
The
Hubbard
bomb
with a
is
tough
good.
shot
And
off
a
the pick.
big bucket for Hubbard.
Stop and drop for Hubbard. The senior hitting a big shot at a big moment.
Underrated on this team, I think.
Coming to the midway point of this third quarter. There's the bomb. Cabot feeling it a little bit. No.
Good work, Bogart.
Yeah.
Turnaround jumper. That's a tough shot, but he gets the roll again.
All sophomores tonight from Mynderse Academy.
Bogart. One of those, oh no, oh yes situations if you're the coach.
Yeah, and that's why they were brought up last year as freshmen, so hopefully this year they could really step in and contribute.
And a
with some
pretty
confidence.
play, but they couldn't finish. That was Kraft.
Bogart with another rebound.
Great job by Sammy Lorenzetti on defense there.
Single digits? No. Air ball. But the
Fought
rebound
through
by
the pick.
Mynderse inside, and then a throwaway. Behind the back dribble and a steal.
Lucky.
Crowd
Here-
getting more involved.
Here comes the Academy. Bucket here would be big. Open shot from three, way off the mark.
Jeez.
33-22. And a reach-in foul. And they're going to
Timeout.
Timeout before, which would have been a foul. I think
Alex Sluka looked a little out of control. Maybe Coach Darnell starting to, he had a feel that maybe he was in a position where he might not make a good decision.
Do you remember the year you won in 92? What year did Clyde win the States?
93.
Kevin Sharp?
Yeah, Timmy Darnell was a junior on that team.
And one
Kevin
of the
Sharp
other
was the coach.
thrills for me was the way they took down the Donald Foyle and that Hamilton High School team.
Yeah. The one-man show.
And he was a man among
Oh,
boys.
my God.
Chiseled. Amazing. Right here, 3:16 remaining. And
There's Mark Pittiford, last year's Waterloo
I
coach.
imagine he'll be in him almost
Yeah,
every
he's
game.
a very supportive man.
I thought that was Rudy Giuliani at first. No.
I do have a update from the Clyde game. Clyde's up 26-14 at the half. So a lot of
14.
halftime scores from around the
14 points.
5 more than mine.
Now they're playing Williamson.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Brad Van Dusen Photography is available for your photography needs.
And here tonight on the baseline down there, Spencer Toulis.
He takes the best sports photographs. I mean,
Yeah,
if you
he's
go to
good.
his site at bvdsports.com, you can browse some just amazing shots.
I've
Brad does a
I've
great
seen
job.
some of the work he's done on high school pictures and weddings as well.
Yes.
That's Brad Van Dusen Photography at bvdsports.com. We'll again mention a wonderful run 5K here. We'll talk about that when we get a little quick break. Driving, stopping,
Blocked by Bogart.
rejected by Bogart. Outside bomb
That's
above
out.
the rim and out of bounds. As you think?
Inbounds to Lorenzetti. Great pass to Cabot.
Little
Pump
head
fake by
fake,
Cabot.
steps.
Called a travel. He dribbled the ball. I'm not sure how it was a
I
travel.
think he did. I think he moved both feet.
Yeah.
I think if he hadn't done the turn, the 360-degree turn, maybe
Yeah.
we'll see it here.
Yeah.
Because he did the head fake.
Yeah, I thought it was a good head fake. Then he put the ball on the ground. Coach Prain arguing too. He didn't like it, but that's not a travel.
I don't know. It didn't look like it
He
there.
dribbled the ball. It's a very bad
And
call.
what a big turnaround because Saluka hits the 3 ball.
Big shocker how a bad call turns around and gets you in the next other end.
That's a potential 5-point play. Cabot, no, but his follow-up, yes.
Carrying the Blue Devils right
he
now.
is. Impressive
Yes.
performance by Troy Cabot,
Yeah,
the
got a hand check.
sophomore.
How about somebody else
That Mike.
putting the ball in the basket?
Other than Cabot.
It's a 12-point game here.
Jim,
Somebody
quite
else
frankly,
needs to provide some offense.
I don't know if they can. I mean, they haven't shown that they can, but somebody else has to. Bogart's
Well,
the only
I've
one
seen
that's got
Jake
another
Smith
bucket.
do it before. I've seen Griffin Heron. I've seen Jared King do it before. How they need to do it now.
My eyes have seen the glory. 36-24, stop and pop no by Saluka. And 2:24 remaining in the third quarter, a 12-point game. At least it has a different feel to it.
It does have
Kev.
a different vibe. You know, Cabot scoring. I think he's got 22 of the 24, if I'm not mistaken. 20 somebody else scored.
Bogart has two
took
buckets.
4 points.
On
Okay.
those both.
Yeah, all sophomore scoring. You know, it's not going to win many games with just two guys scoring. Carried it and caught on his hip.
turnover.
Yeah.
Just going to say, still within striking distance with 2:15 to go in the third.
Yeah, it was just at this point too big of a deficit.
You got to close this quarter out
and
strong.
this isn't going to continue, Jim, at this rate. I mean, Cabot's not going to score 44 points to win this game. Yeah, maybe he does. But hey, Mynderse has to. This other kid's got to answer the bell.
Right. I agree with you. I was only kidding. But I think Cabot might have a 40-game point in him a few times in his career.
Definitely got the conscience for it.
And an air ball from 3 for Adi.
Lawrence wanted the call the other way. He was right. It did hit Smitty's leg, but after it hit Jake Smith's leg, then it went right to Lawrence out of bounds. Almost got the call.
So Nick Jones will inbound against full court man-to-man pressure and just gets it inbounds to beat the 5 count.
Mynderse really struggling against the man pressure.
Heron over the timeline. I thought he was going to take that 3. Open at the moment was Jake Smith.
Push on Heron. Off the ball.
Yeah, good
He
call.
called it on 15, but
all of a
It goes on
sudden,
Heron.
the officiating is tightened up in this half.
yeah.
At least
They
on-
did give it to Griffin. Just second.
Got 1:35 to go in the third quarter.
12-point game, 3 consecutive trips for Mynderse that empty. And
Well, there have been a lot
A lot of those
Yeah.
tonight, Dave. I agree.
Strong move, and the bucket is good
Yeah, Cabot's gonna
inside
have
by
the front.
Hubbard.
Mike Hubbard in that post. Can't
He's
play
had a
behind
fine
him.
game.
Hubbard's the most versatile basketball player on this team.
The bomb.
I agree, Jim. I
Wow.
agree.
He's got 10 in the game, by the way.
He can hit the outside. He can score inside.
Mynderse
He's
saves.
a tough player.
Driving and
Get in there.
collision.
Good
No,
take.
but a foul. And that'll send.
We might get somebody else in the scoring column. The anticipation is real.
That'll send Nick Jones to the line. Yeah, that's that's right. He could be the third leading scorer on this shot right
with
here.
1 free throw.
And he gets it.
Got another update from from the Atwood. Lions is now up 47-33 after 3, and that's an impressive win for Lions. You're not going to see too many times where we can gauge how good this Lions
I
team
agree.
is.
They don't have a
This
very
is
tough schedule, and Wayne County's not very strong. And this is a good out-of-league matchup for the area,
And he hits both free throws.
Big free throws.
Taking it to him, though, pretty good.
Need a stop and a bucket here to make it a 10-point lead or 9 with a 3-ball. Their 3-point shots just have not looked in rhythm at all for most of the night. And a nice strong move again. Taking it to the hole was the sapling, Devin Felber. That's what his dad said to call him.
The sapling. I like it.
Scramble for the ball. Mynderse gets it. No, they're going to wipe it out. Okay. With 28 seconds left in the quarter and a 14-point Waterloo lead. Waterloo in control, but some life being shown by Mynderse. And we'd like to tell you that, well, let's talk about it. We did in that first game over 4,000 participants in the wonderful Run 5K this year, of which Kevin's been a big part of, as well as your wife. You got your daughter enlisted to help, and probably a few other.
Tina and Jeff Rook.
Lot of
Tina, Jeff brings his sister Tabby and Scott Spinner. They help,
Yep.
and Mary Saywall and Gary Saywall and Jeff's dad is a big help.
Half the high
Bob
school kids.
Yeah, a lot of high school kids.
And Lindsay Hillmeyer, that's not her last name anymore. Does she go by that still?
She's Lindsay
Guy.
Yeah, just every time the running, I think what a great feat that she's qualified for the Boston Marathon.
A lot of local runners have actually.
And my son-in-law
Jerry Alexa
is
Jerry
training.
Alexa, Scott Porter, Mark
I'll have to get him in that 5K next year. I'll have to tell him about
him to come out for the 5K.
He's training
Does
for
he
a
like
marathon.
Christmas?
He likes everything. He's a great guy. He's my IT expert, too.
Yeah, there you go. It's good to have one
Turned
of
out
those.
to be a good event, though, Jim, with the snow and, it's kind of rainy, gray all day. And then
It is. It always is. It always is. And it's part because of the great job you guys do, a huge part, but the type of people that it attracts are not going to get, let a little rain put a damper on. They get so excited. They
come
so
from
much
afar
fun.
and they do get excited.
Minders could really
Look at
use
this.
a hoop
Coach
here.
Prane drawing up a great out-of-bounds play.
Cabot
for Cabot at the end
nails
of the quarter.
the three.
Hey, Waterloo, you might want to guard Troy Cabot. Jeepers creepers.
Running the other way, not getting it. Minders with plenty of time. 12
for 1
seconds left in the
That
quarter.
horse.
Find him again. Give him a screen
quick
and
shot
get it to
out
him.
of control. Now Minders can put up another one.
And
Cabot
he
gets
does.
another look.
Oh, no.
That's what I don't
But
like.
a foul will send it
they
to the
fouled
line
him.
for
really,
three.
just terrible execution by Waterloo, who's played great all game. Out of the inbounds, they give Cabot a wide open three. Then they come down, they take a terrible shot, a runner
They
with
should have been
12
holding
seconds
for
left
one.
in the quarter instead of holding it. And then they come down and commit a foul in the corner. I mean,
It's
you
just
just
like shots.
You
You know,
just couldn't have finished the quarter any
Kevin,
worse after
Jim,
a timeout.
it's just like they say, these schools would be great places except for all these kids.
Yeah, that's right. Boy, did they really blunder that quarter up.
But Cabot,
Can you believe that with one of these free throws, these next two shots, the lead will be under 10?
Like, it's unbelievable. And it was just 13 on the second, on the time. 28 seconds left in the timeout. Minders could have held for one.
Right.
But they got so open to the player that's got almost 30 points. He gets a three, and then they take a shot with 12 seconds left in the quarter. I'd be going nuts if I
6-0 run.
was Coach Darnell right now. I give him credit.
6-0 run with his free throw.
Got it. He gets the roll, 3 out of 3 on the three-point line. And I watched Tim Darnell.
6-point swing.
And I was thinking, he's got to be thinking we were so close to just putting
Blowing
this
it
game
out.
away.
Yeah, you're right, Dave.
And a long three-quarter court shot. No. And it's 40-32. Waterloo by 8 after a nice third quarter by the Academy. And we'll be back with more high school basketball action after this.
Generations Bank is celebrating 150 years of serving and supporting our hometowns. Visit mygenbank.com for the best choices in checking, savings, home equities, mortgages, and much more. Generations has been the Finger Lakes Bank since 1870. Generations Bank, member FDIC.
DiSanto Propane is 4 generations strong as a trustworthy family-owned business with unmatched customer service. Go online at DiSantoPropane.com for more info. DISANTO Propane.com or call toll-free at 1-800-752-4574 today. DiSanto. Since 1937, the difference has been DiSanto Propane.
1 quarter of basketball remains, and things are heating up, literally and figuratively, here at the Arthur L. Baker Gymnasium. The first game dominated by the Waterloo girls, 54-21. This one was headed that way, may wind up that way, but Minders is saying, not yet, my friends. As they've narrowed the lead, I think the largest lead was maybe 27-9.
That DiSanto Propane heat check was obviously for Troy Cabot. I got him for 26 points in the first three periods.
And I'll give you a little tip here, Jim. Don't add up his points to figure out his points. Just subtract the other player's points. Because that's what I did in between quarters.
That's actually pretty brilliant.
And the
Big
turnaround
shot by
jump
Ruiz.
hook. And a pretty play by Ruiz.
First points of
Cabot's
the
wide
half.
open again. Aaron didn't see him. Would have had an easy layup.
That's an important basket for Waterloo, I think.
Here's again where Michael Bogart needs to get the ball on the block.
Don't just stand there. Get position and ask
he
for
had
it.
it, and then he goes away from it
Oh,
quick.
yes, and the
There's
left-handed layup is good by King.
4 players have now scored for Mynderse.
I tell you what, if they can get 3 or 4 guys to get the ball in this quarter, they can make this a game down at 8 here.
Yeah,
after Waterloo just dominating all but the last 30 seconds of the third quarter.
Tricky dribble, and the roll is good, and he wanted more.
He did.
And that was Hubbard.
Lawrence.
Or what?
Johnny
I'm sorry.
Lawrence. Ooh.
Saved in.
Oh,
Nice
Mynderse
save.
standing around watching. Waterloo going to get it.
Oh, and then a throwaway. Bad pass there.
I think he was trying to avoid
another
the
quick one.
Trigger.
Just don't get it. I just don't get it.
I got a little thought on that as time permits, Kevin. So it's a 10-point game, 6.5 to go. Time a factor, but time is remaining. And you want this guy as he works. Oh, he was open on the baseline. That is Cabot, of course.
Whoa.
And that's.
Bad shot.
I thought that
As Nick
Jones got away maybe with a double dribble. I'm not sure, but then he nearly made a really nice acrobatic shot.
Yeah, nice take by Lawrence. Waterloo getting a lot of action and points off the pick and roll tonight. There's another one. Oh. I think King got away with a reach there.
Waterloo up by 10 with a basketball, stop and pop.
Poor heads on that, I think, by Jones or Bogart.
Ruiz.
Can't let him come off so clean.
Dangerous time right now for Mynderse. The lead had shrunk to 8. Now it's 12 again.
Go up.
Up and under move. Yes, by Bogart. 6 points, all in the second half.
Coach Donnell preaching for patience.
Oh, my, and the bomb.
I don't know if he wanted that shot, but it went in.
And a timeout is called. No,
it's one of those shots as a coach. You know, they did this for Mynderse, but they didn't do it for Waterloo. After Cabot, or they did it for Waterloo, but not after Cabot hit the 3 in the corner. His next 3 attempt, the ball was up in the rim,
right.
or the net was up in the rim. There, they stopped it and fixed it. I thought that was a poor piece of officiating on the last time they didn't do it. So good job doing it there. You don't want to shoot with the net.
49-36. So Waterloo has answered the bell here in the fourth quarter.
Oh,
Cabot thinking about it.
Jake set a mini pick for him there, but he didn't want to take the shot.
Besides having a great game, the composure the sophomore is showing for most of the night, most impressive.
Agreed.
He just needs a little help from his friends. Little stutter step could have been steps. They lost the ball anyway.
Can't take care, or can't turn the ball over. 4:30 to go.
Yep.
Every possession's huge. Down 13 here.
A bucket now would make it 15 or 16, and boy, they like that 3 ball.
Yeah.
Look, when the pass wasn't on, he should have maybe.
Yeah, if that pass was a little better by Lawrence, then step and shoot it. But when you bobble that pass, you just got to know, all right, I'm not going to get the shot off that I'm used to practicing.
I was going to say, on Waterloo's propensity to just fire at will with those 3-pointers, not unlike as Cabot doesn't get the
shot.
Yep.
Not unlike the many Wayne County games that I did up in Clyde for many years, with those successful teams playing that brand of basketball.
Thought it was a good take by Ruiz right next to the basket. Drew the help, an easy putback for Kraft. Mynderse timeout, and this one might be over.
Yeah, 15 points. While we have time and a timeout, I'd like to thank Ferrara Lumber and Building Supplies. Browse their selection at ferraralumber.com. Red's Place in downtown Seneca Falls with the best lunch in town. Wilson Press and Mail House. You can check them out at wpress.com. And Connie's Diner in Waterloo. Speaking of orange, full menu at connieswaterloo.com. One of our, again, we're so happy to have them, their sponsorship. And you can support our mission at FingerLakes1.com by becoming a patron at patreon.com/FL1. And a special thanks to Bob Mitchell, his support, former Seneca Falls resident, who enjoys tuning in to our broadcasts, our webcasts. And, of course, and we saw him prominently in the first game, John's Bones Lorenzetti, legendary high school basketball official, for their support on Patreon. We appreciate that. And at the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll have a Chichinos. Here's a long arcing shot, nothing but the bottom of the net from the top of the key for King.
I love the set that Coach Prane drew up off another timeout. It's 2 timeouts now.
Two
come out
threes.
and get wide open threes.
Yeah.
Kudos.
Good job for that 92 state champion performer
and again,
for Mynderse.
Another quick three by Waterloo. A lot of this we saw last year too, Jim.
Right.
You know, that's a change of coaching staff, but little similar problems.
Yeah, it's a 3-minute game. You're up 12. Why would you shoot with 7 seconds off the shot
Right. I don't think Felber's hit a three in the 2 games that I've seen all season.
No.
Cabot sifting through traffic, some contact, no whistle. He misses off back iron.
Again.
And a near steal
God.
by Mynderse.
Jeez, Hubbard got away with a tackle. And Bogart, that was bad officiating by the first call. Jake Smith's hurt out there. He got tackled, and there was no call.
We had 4 players on the floor, but the first one to go down.
Yeah, and then Mynderse kind of retaliated after that. Got a little ugly quick. I don't want to see anybody get hurt.
But again, guys, I want to reference, in all seriousness, those Wayne County games that I covered were very much run and gun affairs.
Oh, yeah.
For many years.
When you have the horses to do it.
Yeah, it's fun.
You know,
and,
that's
you
the
know,
way
it's
you
good
want to
basketball.
play.
Yeah.
But I will say Coach Darnell's team that won that state championship had all the composure you could ask for whenever needed.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch that team play a lot in 1993, but we played against them the year before in a scrimmage. They were tough.
They practically gift wrapped as Lawrence misses the first free throw. That state championship for Hamilton High, and
Jesus Christ! Sorry,
it's your former coach.
That's a technical foul right there.
Be, that's that followed up by Thomas. What are you doing?
Well, it's Christmas season. Got to remember the reason for the season.
Trying not to show my bias either.
Exactly.
I did coach at Waterloo. Wide open.
Too easy.
Yeah.
Wide open for the uncontested layup.
Felber's got 8 now.
Felber. We're going to have to be deciding on a player of the game.
15-point lead. Unfortunately for Troy Cabot, he would have gotten it if his team
I'd give it to him anyway.
Yeah.
I'll play to anybody, but I don't know if you can give it to a loser.
Yeah, we can do whatever we want.
I don't know what's Waterloo's stat line. Nobody really.
No, they're
Hubbard
really
played
balanced.
Right.
Really balanced.
Kraft played all right.
Both teams, boys and girls.
Hubbard
And
with
a
a big
3-ball. I think that was King again, wasn't it?
That's why you can't keep giving Mynderse possessions. You don't want to keep giving them possessions on quick shots.
As far as Waterloo's goes, Ruiz has 10. Mike Hubbard has 9.
I got Hubbard for 10. I have Hubbard actually for
10. I have
12.
Hubbard for 10.
12 actually.
Okay, I could have missed one. Yeah.
Lawrence has had a good second half off the bench.
Lawrence has 10. Sorry. Sluka has 8. Felber has 8. Joel Kraft has 6.
And laying it up and in. Strong move by Ruiz. Puts him in double figures with 10.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think coaches would appreciate us bringing over his
Loser.
player for the interview after the loss.
And air ball.
No, good hustle by Griff.
Yeah, must have stepped out down there. Now Waterloo's just got to close this, minute 48. Get a good possession, something on the rim, maybe on the foul line.
Yeah,
Not a quick 3.
Well, how about
That's
a quick 2?
Oh, hard foul.
Yeah, it might be intentional.
Hard
he's
foul.
up.
Yeah, that was pretty hard. Ruiz a little heated, so we'll see what it is. Might just be a common foul.
Well, you can get up and show that you're unhappy.
Yep.
You didn't do anything wrong with.
It's weird that the other official reported it though, and not the one that was on the baseline.
They're talking.
Now they're talking to think whether they went for it. What was your angle? What did you see? Do you think he was going for the ball?
I think
it's a tough call.
It was a hard foul, but I think he was going for the ball.
Yeah, he showed action towards the ball. That's what they're saying.
And they're making sure calmer heads.
Here's a replay on it. We'll get a good look here. It's tough to call. It's a 50-50 call either way. I'm sure people watching saying,
"Is Ruiz? Are you guys as tired of the lengthy reviews that we have
on everything?" Yeah, really slows the game down.
Baseball does it best. They're pretty quick on it, actually. But
it's the one quick thing they do in baseball.
That's right. Ruiz with a strong second, fourth quarter, especially.
But I like how Ruiz is kind of just calming himself down, and that's a big difference this year with the Waterloo team.
And
all right,
Mynderse,
let's see if Coach Prain goes 3 for 3 on these timeouts.
It's a good timeout for a lot of reasons. Yeah, because I would imagine, Kevin, one of the things he's saying, I want you guys to keep playing hard, but let's not do anything stupid.
Yeah, I don't see Mynderse coming back from a 16-point deficit at this point.
Yeah, he might even want to sub out.
Give him a lot of credit, for the way they came out in the second half, because the first half was embarrassing.
Yeah,
what was embarrassing
30 to 8?
for Mynderse? It was 28 to 9.
28 to 9.
It came off a period where they were outscored 17-1.
Yeah,
and
they played hard in the second half, no doubt. Offense looked a lot better. Again, early though, it was still the sophomores. Jared King's hit a couple threes here in the fourth quarter, but they need to find more balanced scoring.
Yep. Let me just pay a couple of bills here and thank STEVER'S Garage and Gymnasium Auto with a used car inventory available at gymnasiumauto.com for your perusal, and fingerlakes1.com website development and digital marketing. More than the most popular website and media outlet in the Finger Lakes. They've been building and hosting websites. We have been. And email service for hundreds of local businesses since 1999.
I got a fun fact about Finger Lakes 1 for you. Our Twitter account at Finger Lakes 1 is followed by President Barack Obama.
Is that right?
That's true.
That is very cool.
Verify
that.
Pretty
cool fun fact.
He follows 600,000 others, but he doesn't follow everybody.
No, he doesn't follow my Twitter handle.
And by the way,
I
mentioned it to Jim. Well, let's wait and see what happens on the inbounds play.
Look at this.
Here.
They had Cabot
Prain did it again.
Cabot's open. Can't get it to go.
Good job.
Sky for it. Bogart. Turnaround. No. And then foul on the play. Heron is fouled. I just wanted to repeat what I said to you before we went on the air tonight, that I love the pregame
intro.
Thank you.
With the classic
introduction, all the different Section 5 and clippings.
Boys and girls, yeah. They were
Very
provided
cool.
by you. You dropped off your treasure trove.
Yeah.
So I had to use them, but I love them. It's really good stuff.
2 out of 2.
Stuff that might make you want to pause, the intro and look a little closer. Might find some. I know there's a Bob Bachman picture in that intro from when he played at Mynderse in the early 80s.
They're not holding that basketball, but they're up now comfortably.
Another quick shot.
I mean, it is a 14-point game.
Yeah.
And Waterloo scrambles, comes up with a loose ball.
He wants him to
They all
hold
got that.
He's yelling to hold it, yeah.
Several of them got that floppy hairdo, too, don't they?
Got a couple of scores. Wayne up big over Mid Lakes, 64-30. And that Lions game has now gone final. The Lions beat Marcus Whitman 65-48. And that's...
Every time you say Lions,
Newark's up 10 with 2 minutes left.
Think about how nice it was to, a couple of times in the last 2 weeks, to run into Zach Young, former successful basketball coach and Waterloo native.
Current Weed Sport athletic director.
That's a big win for Lions. Nice win.
It is.
So I want you to assess the foul shooting routine and mechanics here by Waterloo's
the sapling?
Felber. Yeah.
Well, seems to be, he's active. Head's on a swivel. He's pointing things out. He's looking over at us. Let's see.
I'm no sapling, he's saying. I'm a redwood.
That's solid.
Nice.
Swished them both.
Yeah, good form.
He's
Just
in
got the
double
redwood
figures
joke
with
there.
10.
Great
Layup.
dog.
Nice play. And a strong fourth quarter by Heron.
So we got 14 points with 1:01 to go. There's a nice shot of the scoreboard from Jeremy Hunt.
Good
But-
take by Heron there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Coach Prane will, work on. You talk about after the game. Those are the things that we need to do. Coach Darnell will take his team in and say, we need to finish a little better. We got the win.
Game
But
management.
shot selection is super important in the late in the game.
So what's the next webcast for?
Well, I'm
Finger
glad
Lakes
you
one?
asked, Dave. On Friday, we're going to have a radio-only broadcast from Newark High School as Wayne takes on Newark. Paul Russo and Nick Felice on the call for FL1 Radio. And then we'll be back the day after Christmas. I'm really excited for this one. Marcus Whitman at Geneva. Whitman, of course, lost tonight to Lions. Geneva lost, surprisingly, too, to Wayne the other night.
I think Wayne might surprise some people. Blankenberg's playing a little better. They had a good JV team last year, but they lost a lot. But, Jim, we talked about it in our other show. The league lost a lot.
Right.
You just lose 7 first-team all-league players that are out going to play college basketball. It's hard to recover. So
Jesse Cabot, Madison Barnett,
yeah,
a
couple
couple
former greats.
Jesse.
And there's Bill
Jesse,
Barnett.
Two years ago, Jesse graduated.
Yep, Jesse graduated 2
And
years
Madison
ago.
last
You know
year.
how
He'll tell
much,
you Jesse will tell you he taught Troy everything he knows.
You know how much wisdom and intelligence this Bill Barnett has? He's a huge Boston Celtics.
There you go.
Yeah.
And he has monogrammed balls that say Boston Celtics on them. Here's the bomb.
Look at Darnell. He screamed at him still. He said,
Right.
I wanted you to pull out.
Right.
You missed that shot. I get that they have a kind of killer instinct, but holy crap.
They're
That's
going
gonna
to push
bite
They
it
him.
want more.
Well, this one's okay.
Breakaway.
That's
Layup.
all right.
No,
Attack
but
the
a
rim.
foul.
High percentage shot. You don't want a 30% three-point shot taken.
Yeah,
So
game-
shall we select our Big East, our
Big East Sport and Design Player of the Game? What is this, 1983?
our Cicino's Pizza. That's why I'm a good trivia player, by the way. Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant Player of the Game, guys. And I think the player of the game was Cabot, but I think as far as
We
the
take him off
circumstances
the winning
tonight,
team.
you could have picked several. I have somebody in mind.
Well, let's go. You nominate somebody, and we'll see.
I would nominate, don't call me Ruiz, call me Ruiz.
I'd go Johnny Lawrence. Cabot again.
Cabot,
career
Gang.
high.
The sophomore.
Listen, I'll buy him a slice of pizza.
He's not, yeah.
Was that a 2 or 3?
That was a 3.
Yeah, so
29?
29.
What a heck of a game.
What a great game.
We'll see if we can get him a pizza. He'll be on the
You know what?
post-game shows.
I don't care if he's a loser or not. I'm switching it. Sorry, Johnny Lawrence. After the 3, I'm going with Troy Cabot. He kept his team in it. Made it a game all by himself.
That's
Win or
true.
lose.
Do you think that Coach
I'd go with
Crane's going to
Cabot.
be upset if we ask to have Troy over? Or is it even good to ask Troy after a loss?
You guys do as you choose, but I think we should select, especially in the game between these two
Cares
teams.
about what's nice.
Someone from the winning
Nice.
team.
He's the kid who carried the team.
So my
Wasn't
vote
for him, it would have
is
been a blowout. More so. Jim, what's your vote?
I vote for
I got to go with Ruiz.
Ruiz. We got to get him back on?
Yeah, he was
He's
already
already
on
on?
once tonight.
Get him back on.
a short interview after the game. And
Yeah, we'll keep this one
There
short.
goes the crowd. 17 and a
Yeah,
half
the
seconds.
Waterloo
watching
crowd's going to beat the traffic.
Yeah.
It was still snowing out there between games when I popped out.
guess what I did today, you guys? This is an impressive. I think
Downhill
we get a
skiing?
whistle, I'll tell you. Well, close enough. I slipped a few times with my new knee. You know how big my driveway is.
Yep.
Did the snow blower on the entire driveway.
That way.
That'll do it. Mynderse made it interesting. They fought back gamely, but Waterloo comes away with a W 65-49. We'll wrap up the evening when we come back for our Little John Orthodontics Smiles with Style post-game show after this.
40.
Help FingerLakes1.com bring you more great live local sports coverage by becoming a supporter at patreon.com/FL1. Generations Bank is celebrating 150 years of serving and supporting our hometowns. Visit mygenbank.com for the best choices in checking, savings, home equities, mortgages, and much more. Generations has been the Finger Lakes Bank since 1870. Generations Bank, member FDIC.
DiSanto. Since 1937, the difference has been DiSanto Propane.
All roads lead to Bill Cram Chevrolet, Waterloo Exit 41, Highway 5 and 20 in Seneca Falls. See all our trucking deals at BillCramChevrolet.com.
Dr. Littlejohn, Dr. Barbie, and their outstanding orthodontic team share a common goal to ensure the overall wellness of each of their patients through their exceptional orthodontic care. Dr. Rod Littlejohn and Dr. Liz Barbie are proud to support our area high school athletes. Check out Dr. Rod and Dr. Liz online at littlejohnortho.com.
A 65-49 victory, ensuring the sweep for the Waterloo Indians, both in the girls and boys. Doubleheader here tonight at the Arthur L. Baker Gymnasium, and happy to have with us our I almost did it again, our Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant player of the game, Julian Ruiz.
Julian
Ruiz. I got the last name the way he wanted it.
I'm trying to coach these guys all night.
That's one way to say
everybody out there you were coaching too, but congratulations. A nice balanced effort by your team, playing with a lot of confidence. Your comments and thoughts of the game.
I think we played a great first half defensively. Great. We only allowed 9 points in the first half.
Only one player scored them too.
I couldn't have asked for anything better there, but second half we started off a little shaky, but once we got into our groove and started playing how we know we can play, we were all good.
At any time, coach, late in the third quarter, maybe fourth quarter, tell you guys to kind of slow it down, not shoot so many threes?
Yeah, he told us to just run the offense and run the plays through, because we started just coming down and shooting too quick, and we were taking no time off, and they were just getting quick, fast.
Yeah, at the end of the third quarter, they hit a three, then you took a quick shot with 12 seconds to go, and then they hit, and then you foul on a quick 3-point play.
6 points.
In a game you dominated all game, then all of a sudden, boom, it's like 8.
Yeah, coach was not happy about that
yeah,
one.
I can imagine.
However, I need to ask this question because I was broadcasting when Tim played and starred on the Clyde State Championship team, and I'm sure you see him shoot in the gym.
Yeah, a little bit.
Is he still knocking them down
He's
pretty
still
good?
he be making the first shot he puts up. So
and there he is.
He puts up a lot of shots too. I can tell you that from experience.
Yeah,
he's kind of like Johnny Lawrence. Never met a shot he didn't like.
So you guys have had a couple of tough losses, close games, a big win here tonight.
Oh yeah.
How do you feel about your chances moving forward?
We started off a little rough, but I'm confident in moving forward. I think we can really get this train rolling, and I'm confident in my teammates and my players. As long as we just lock up and play defense, I think we'll be fine, and everything will take care of itself.
You got any marquee matchups coming up before Christmas, or what are you guys doing? Christmas games, like big games coming up?
I got to check the schedule. I don't know if we got any Christmas games.
You got Penn coming up.
Looking at Mynderse first.
On the 20th.
I think we got South Seneca coming up, too.
South Seneca on the 28th.
Yeah.
And you guys should go into the holiday break in good style.
You want to ask them to take it easy on your alma mater before they play South Seneca?
No. They're not going to do that anyway. They're not going to take it easy, that is.
Yeah.
But I do want to congratulate you. You'll be the recipient of a Cicino's Pizzeria pizzas. And also, how about a word on Troy Cabot? It was difficult. We were tempted.
I was.
Because he had 29 points in the game, and he was the only guy who scored in the entire first half for him. He was pretty tough out there tonight.
Yeah, he was pretty tough. He was playing hard. He was attacking the glass, getting rebounds, put back points. We definitely could have guarded him a little bit better, but yeah, he had a good night. I'll give it to him. I'll tap my cat off. And
do you have future plans after this year? Maybe you talked about that in the other game.
I don't know yet for sure, but I'm definitely. I would love. It's kind of hard because it's a huge commitment to settle down to playing the college sport. But then again, I don't want to give up. It's going to be so hard to just give up basketball, for example. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know yet for sure, but I'm kind of 50-50 right now.
Well, we wish you well in your choices and congratulate you and your team on your efforts tonight and a big victory for the Waterloo
Thank
Indians.
you, sir.
Yeah, good game,
And
Julian.
Merry Christmas as well.
Congratulations. Good job.
And don't forget the 23rd.
Festivus for the rest. He's too young. Not a Seinfeld fan. All right. All right. Thanks, Julian.
No problem.
So,
you lost your mic again.
wrapping things up here, a sweep. At least the second game provided some drama and some excitement as Mynderse close to within 8 and showed a lot of moxie out there. And the girls' game, 41-15, Macy Carr, our player of the game, all Waterloo in that one. 65-49 in this one, guys. Final comments?
No, I thought Waterloo did a good job on both ends, a better job on both ends of scoring and defensively. You know, the stuff to work on for them, stuff to work on for Mynderse as well. But Mynderse showed heart in the second half, and you know, it was an entertaining second half.
Yeah, I mean, for years since we started covering games on Finger Lakes 1, it's been Mynderse has dominated this series. So it's good for Waterloo to, you know, now have some history on YouTube, but it's turned it so sharply now. I think what you're going to see is a really great rivalry develop between the Waterloo girls and the Mynderse girls over the next 4 or 5 years, and I think that you're going to see this Mynderse team get better as the year goes on, and potentially they might be the ones with the sectional title at the end of the year.
That'll be fun to watch. And again, while we have a moment, I just want to wish you guys the best holiday season possible ahead, and everyone out there as well, happy and healthy and joyous.
Yeah, it was a great night, Dave. Merry Christmas to you and your family, and to Korzy, you and your family. And it's a wonderful time to be living in upstate New York, I think, the Christmas season, basketball season.
I love it. Merry Christmas, boys.
And speaking for Matt Meckley, the fabulous Hunt brothers, Jason and Jeremy, Kevin Korzeniewski, all our guests tonight, and, of course, our producer and owner, Jim Sinacropi. This is Dave Barnick saying good evening, everybody, from Mynderse Academy, and may the force be with you.